Chatfish didn't figure out what I did they?
No, someone's called you a failure.
He
Kim.
went stupid Chatfish. No, they figured it out. Stupid fishes. Oh my god. Okay, well, Chatfish is dumb, and that's what we're starting off today's bunch. It's because I accidentally connected the wrong stream, so I went live on the other stream that's supposed to go live later. And one of you chuckle fucks figured it out because you had it open. God fucking damn little worthless Chatfish. All of them should die. There's Indio. Indio, get in here. It's time for you to talk about these subjects you're well versed in. He's like,
Yeah.
Be purple?
Indio.
Me not know nothing about nothing.
Me Bindio.
All right. So, we have a new bunch cast. There's a bunch of stuff to go over. We will, we'll start off the Titan Quest 2 thing, because there's Titan Quest 2 news, which we did play this game earlier, and, well, quite a bit earlier, like a year ago, and it was pretty fun, but it needed more stuff and meat to it. And it's one of those games that we've been kind of letting cook, so they got a new little trailer called the Summons trailer, so let's take a look. It's a little dude.
Titan Quest 2 update, players will have access to summons. Summons were a huge part of the original game, and it's only right that we bring them back, with even more additions. We'll also be breaking down talismans, as well as other features added in this update. Each mastery has received a summon skill, and there are new summon-related passives too. Summons are sustained skills alongside auras, reserving energy to keep a summon active. We want players to have the choice of either active or passive playstyles. Here, we're using a Core Dweller from the Earth Mastery and an Automaton from Forge. As you can see with the passive playstyle, you're able to let the summons do most of the work in combat, whilst you support them with a simple backup.
Well, they play the game for you.
You can either trigger abilities on your summons, as you can see here with the Core Dweller, or you can empower via the active use of the summon ability, alternating between them to actively boost your summons. Let's take a look at some of our other summons. Here, we have a build using the Wisp and War Banner. The War Banner has a strong periodic heal, increased damage for your allies, reduced damage from enemies, and an extended buff if you leave the aura. You can summon up to 3 extra Wisps from the base 2 with modifiers, and these Wisps are buffed with Storm Nimbus and Battlefield Awareness, giving us an advantage in combat. Drawing enemies into the aura to maximize your buffs is ideal. We want you to be able to choose your own playstyle and change around what your summons will do via modifiers, so be sure to study each to ensure you're making the most of your strategy. As mentioned, this update will also bring several other additions such as talismans, which work offhand for mages in place of shields. Their guaranteed increase to energy should help a lot of builds, but they can also be useful for non-caster characters. You may recognize the inspiration for some of these items. We also have new epic weapons along with reworks of all existing epics, such as Trigon's Tail, the Harp, and Peridix's Sphere, strengthening their themes whilst boosting their power. We have so much for you to try in this new update, and we can't wait to see how you all develop your playstyle in preparation for the challenges ahead.
Nice. So, that game's making a decent amount of progress. Titan Quest 2 is kind of a cute ARPG game, which you can find on Steam for a pretty decent price, if I remember right. I don't think it was ridiculous.
They have it at a reduced price currently to what they plan to sell it for.
Yes, because it's an early access. Positive reviews have kind of slipped to 76. Still good, but not necessarily what you want, because it's trending downwards. Not sure what the reason for that is, but where is it? My eyeballs don't work. There it is. $34.99, which is not bad. It's one of those games I'd probably play cooperatively. Binsky didn't like it, though. But Binsky does raise a good point, because there are detractors to the game. Like, one of the things is the areas are sprawling. And that can either be a good thing, or that can be a bad thing. And this is where Binsky, our programmer, differs on opinion. He found it very, very tedious because it kind of has this fetch quest vibe. And that's also true. It does have a little bit of that going to it. So it's not as straightforward in terms of just straight up killing dudes. My eardrums! Turn that down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, It's one of those cute ARPGs. It's definitely worth giving it a shot if you like the Titan Quest series. But it's also one of those that if you're not super into ARPGs, it's not going to break the mold, if that makes sense. It's not going to, like, oh my god, this is like the only ARPG to ever have existed. It's going to be more or less what you're expecting, but with a Greek flavor to it. And if you like that, you'll probably like this game. But if you're not a fan of that, and the Greek aesthetic isn't enough to carry it, and you're not interested in ARPGs to begin with, this game is probably just still a pass for you. But if you like ARPGs and we're looking for something a bit different, I actually quite liked this game. Thought it was cute.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was a cute little video game. Perhaps too cute. Perhaps too cute. What the fuck? That's my developer server. Wrong button. Okay, so that's Titan Quest. It's getting a little bit of news there. Next up, we have an article from PC Gamer. It's about Pete Hines. Says he left Bethesda because he didn't want to watch it being damaged and abused. Hines, Bethesda's former vice president of marketing and PR, left Bethesda in 2023, 3 years after it was acquired by Microsoft. For an awful lot of years, Pete Hines was the face of Bethesda Softworks. See, when I think of Bethesda Softworks, I don't think of Pete Hines. I actually think of Todd Howard. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I 100% believe that, because Todd Howard was kind of the face man. He was also the pitch guy, so he's pitching ideas. But he's also kind of like the snake oil salesman fella, because he's over-promising, over-hyping, kind of the Peter Molyneux type. But the only difference with...
I like it when he...
Go ahead.
I like it when he lies to me.
I don't. I think lying is not a good thing. I think we shouldn't have that. I think what befell Peter Molyneux should probably befall Todd Howard. But for whatever reason, it seems like Todd Howard kind of sort of skated by despite his lies and managed to weasel out, versus Peter Molyneux got his comeuppance. But it's still like, you know, lurking in the background, occasionally shitting out a half-baked game here and there. So let's see.
To be fair, Peter Molyneux's just making scam games. Todd's still like in charge of an actual like successful studio.
Mm-hmm. But what was the last game they made? Starfield? Was that a
Star Slot? Yeah,
Star Slot?
It was successful relatively, but it wasn't good.
Ew, I don't know. Was it successful?
Mind you, success does not equate to quality.
I don't even know if it was financially successful. I thought Starfield did badly, but I can't remember.
I thought it sold pretty well. Let me see.
I know that its player fall off was like a fucking cliff. Like it just... Heretical Fishy says, Pete Hines is the guy who said they would fuck up the lore if they wanted to.
Okay.
Nice.
Starfield surpassed 15 million players as of November 24th. Making it one of Bethesda's biggest launches, aided heavily by Xbox Pass game sales.
Okay. But yeah, that doesn't equate to success, though. Because we learned that from Battlefield 6, or is it 7, or whatever. Whatever the latest one is. Because the new Battlefield game has the highest launch performance of any Battlefield game. But unlike Battlefield 1, where Battlefield 1 set the record last time, the new Battlefield game, despite having broken that record, has actually done worse because its fall off is so massive. And a game like that's supposed to coast. But the problem is the latest Battlefield game is chasing trends. It's trying to be a Call of Duty game. It's trying to go back to being a Battle Royale game. This is a bad thing. There's nothing around that. Because I've talked with people from different generations all the time. And one thing I find interesting is that you'll occasionally get some younger fellas, and this is something that I have seen, who will come in and be like, oh, this game needs PvP. Oh, this game needs like a Battle Royale. Like it has to have it or it's dead. And something like that. And then every time a game does that, it will get those people who are interested in it to come over and play it, but it will lose everybody else. There's another game that did this exact same thing last year, right? Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening starts off as a PvE survival crafting video game and does so pretty well. But as you play it and as you go through it, the game starts to wander, doesn't it? It's like, well, what if at the end it becomes a PvP game? And that's tonal whiplash. Because the issue is that, what? Like, the game wasn't about this at all, but now it all of a sudden is? So you're telling me for 40 to 60 hours of gameplay, you're going to be playing a very different game than what you're expected to play in the end game? Like, that's very, I don't want to say it's like the worst thing ever because I've never seen a game pull it off successfully. Theoretically, maybe, right? Maybe it'll keep things fresh. Maybe, potentially. But we all saw how that worked out in Dune Awakening, is it didn't. It sort of face planted.
It's like, okay, player, you're going to be playing an FPS first-person shooter for the first 20 hours of this game. All right. For the next 100 hours or so, you're playing a JRPG.
What? Yeah, pretty much. It's like a genre switch. Starfield did not sell well. Got a lot of refunds. Players, yes, not sales. Game Pass. Oh, yes, the Game Pass ecosystem. So the big problem with the Game Pass ecosystem is it's actually terrible for developers. Because, yeah, a lot of people can play your game, right? Would I ever put my game on the Game Pass? No. Not unless I'm being coerced or have a gun to my head. Not in a million years. I don't want my game on a Game Pass. I don't want my game on any of those like service features or whatever, like where you pay like a fee or whatever. You either buy it and own it or you don't. And that's just how it is. You either own it or you don't. Yes or no. There's no renting games. I've always never been a big fan of rentals, even as a kid. That's why whenever, like, my mom's side, we rent games, but my dad's side, we just buy them. Because my dad, and I asked my dad that because I was a little kid, right? I was like, why are we buying this? You know, we could just rent it. And my dad's like, because if we buy it, we own it forever, right? And we can have it forever. But what if it's shit? Well, then we own that piece of shit forever. But it's ours to do with as we please. It means that we own it. It's ours now. We don't have to worry about returning it. It's a no hassle thing. I own this. This is mine. I can look at my wall of video games over there and I can be like, yeah, there's a good dozen, more than a dozen of those games are trash that are just absolute garbage. But I own them and they're mine and I can do what I want with them. I can play them when I want to. And I don't have to play them if I don't want to either. But I own them. Aliens, Colonial Marines, Operation Raccoon City. I can see you over here, even without glasses, because I know where you are on that wall. But, yeah, I've got a lot of bad games, too. But it's better to own your game than not, right? Like, I own Fire Warrior. I hate Fire Warrior, but it's my game. I own it. I can do whatever I want with it.
I'm sure you have some love for Fire at this point. It's been such a big part of your life.
The only thing I have is that it makes me money. Like, is like how I view it. Like, I look at Fire Warrior, and I'm like, gameplay-wise, you disgust me. But, like, you make me money, so I tolerate your existence. So I tolerate you.
Fire Warrior is this tumor Kibbs has growing on his leg, and he has to deal with it.
Oh my god. But yeah, so this week was kind of a slow week. We didn't actually do a fireside chat. We normally do. So this Bunchcast, by the way, is going to be an amalgamation like a fireside is. So if you're wondering why it's kind of like there's no core focus on a particular subject, it's because this week was actually pretty slow. Well, there was some stuff that happened over the week, like the Iranian conflict stuff that happened, but we don't really cover that stuff. You know, gaming news-wise, gaming was kind of slow and meandery. We're just kind of wandering around. But there were some good things that happened. Actually, a couple of good things. But all the good things I have to talk about are for games that are actually ongoing. Not a whole lot of new stuff. But there's one new thing that was kind of cute. We'll get to that in a minute. So next up, I have some Chatfish articles that were brought up. Gigabyte X870 Aero X3D Wood Motherboard Review. A touch of wood adds a touch of class. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. A gorgeous and excellent... isn't wood flammable, though? A gorgeous design...
No.
Gorgeous design, excellent performance, and a strong feature set makes standout motherboard for users seeking a classy high-end build. So it's just a new board. Does it actually have wood on it? The RX3D Wood is one of several refreshed AM5 motherboards that carry an X3D nomenclature. Its name is for its much-hyped X3D Turbo Mode 2.0. Gigabyte has made some lofty performance claims. Okay. But in our recent review of the Aorus X870E, Aorus Elite X3D, we didn't find the gains we hoped for in most applications, but it isn't a heavy focus for this board. Aside from its stunning design and the X8070E Aero X3D, wood Is it actually wood, though? I don't know. It's not actually wood. It's definitely a high-end motherboard with a strong feature. Because, like, the issue with wood is that if it's moisture, like, it'll swell. Like, that'd be a terrible idea. It's good, very connectivity, but it doesn't actually have wood on it, does it? It's not real. It just says X30 wood. Wood edition motherboard. They gotta be fucking with you. It's not really wood. Wood comes in a plain cardboard box, which surely saves the gigabyte a few cents, but it also matches well. I mean, yeah, you don't need fancy stickers or paintings on my box for my graphics card because I'm going to throw that in the garbage. The rear of the box shows off the key specifics. The board comes fairly typical set of accessories. I'm now like looking for the wood that looks like wood, but it could be just, painted, right? It's too hard to tell. That's not actually wood, is it? That'd be kind of weird. It'd probably be like, if it was wood, it'd probably be, I forget what the wood stuff, but treated. So it's like glazed and stuff so that it can't actually absorb moisture. So it's water retardant and stuff. But I just think it'd be a bad idea to put wood inside your computer. Also, wood doesn't really serve a purpose.
Naturally gets up to like 80 Celsius on the inside.
I've seen wood grain PCs. Also, who's going to see it? Yeah, I know, right? Like, unless you got a glass case. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the sort of... Now, I know Robin's going to fucking crucify me, but I like the beige look. I find beige to be a sort of relaxing, homely color. It's like a sort of mute color. It doesn't really affect the environment. It's and that's what I like about it.
When you say it's comely?
It also reminds me of, like, old. When I think of beige, I think old. I think it's old, whatever it is. It's old. Because things were colored in beige, they're old usually.
Well, when I think of like an old computer, I think of like white. Specifically like those old monitors.
Yeah. But the components were like greens and blues. They had other colors too.
On the inside. But on the outside, it's just a white case.
I mean, I guess it's just weird. I don't know. I mean, what? It's just weird. It's a weird thing. And it's only like a little piece of wood, so I don't really see the purpose. And I guess if it's cheaper, I think that's good.
Well, no, Kibbs. This has got an aesthetic
it's
to it,
$500.
therefore it's going to be more expensive.
It's $500 for this, is what it says. Honestly, like, I don't really see the point. I'll be real with you. It's like, okay, it's got a piece of wood on it. Like why? Like, okay, like, if it's my computer case looking cool, yeah, it's my computer case, right? Now I can see through my computer cases because all the computer cases I have glass width thingies, so I can see the internals if they're working. Because I need to double check because the things, if they don't work, they have a problem, But, like,
yeah.
I don't really care what they look like internally. I'll be real with you. So long as they work. That's all I really care about. I don't know. I just think it's kind of silly. But maybe that's just because I'm out of touch. Now, next up, we have... The French government says it's ditching Windows for Linux. Country accelerates plans to ditch US-based software and digital sovereignty push. So if you haven't been following the news, France is not doing anything particularly new here. So let's talk about history a little bit, right? So France, following World War II, was like, man, NATO. And then they joined like, no, not gonna help. And then they just sort of backed out. They're kind of like not really helping and not really useful as an ally, if that makes sense. And why is that? And that's entirely due to the fact that France wants this sort of like ridiculous autonomy. They don't want anything to do with anybody else around them, which is like, okay, fair or whatever, right? But they also feel that way about like pretty much everything, like their missiles, their defenses, their military, down to like their components and technology and software. So it's not entirely surprising that they want to do this. It's ironic considering how they're, who leads their country. But besides that, what I find funny about this is that, okay, I mean, switching to Linux isn't terrible, but it is going to undermine us as a nation, mostly because relying on Microsoft is actually a huge boon. Microsoft as a corporation is a powerful corporation of the United States of America, and it offers a great deal of resources to other things, right? In terms of operating systems to the military and other nations and stuff like that, and it's very important that we dominate that sphere. The issue is Microsoft now of the current era is weak and pathetic. It sucks. And while Microsoft of the previous eras had its faults, make no doubt, the Microsoft we have now is very limp dick. You know, like it's being hijacked mostly by Indians. Like they're infiltrating the company and the corporation, and a lot of its resources are being offshored over to India. So it's literally being stolen from us right now. So why that's important to know is that might be the reason as to why France wants to get away from this sort of technology. Because if it's in the hands of India, can you trust India like you can trust the United States with things? No, you can't. Also, India's security is not very good. So you got to be careful.
What do you mean, Sar? We're very secure, Sar.
Yeah, no.
I mean AI to replace your IT department, Sar.
So they're going to switch over to Linux or whatever, which is like, okay. I mean, I don't really blame them for doing what they're doing for their own stuff, but at the same time, this is interesting because what it does mean is it does mean things are going to change on how that affects Microsoft, because Microsoft kind of has a monopoly, right? And as Microsoft weakens, that monopoly is going to start falling apart at the seams, right? As like if the Steam OS is good, for example, when we see it later this year, if it is good, and this is on the assumption that it's actually a competitor, right? If it is, then that means that there's going to be a very interesting shift tonally in the gaming sphere. And not only in the gaming sphere, but you also have nations like France, which are switching over from using Microsoft operating systems to using their own Linux stuff, their own things, which, again, exiting Windows means that Microsoft is going to lose its monopoly. Now, I'm not going to really like cry over Microsoft losing stuff because they're kind of a terrible company, but at the same time, it does mean the repercussions of that choice and that action are actually far deeper than just that one company. Now, granted, it's entirely on Microsoft for being a failure of a corporation, but it still means bad stuff because no matter how you look at it, it's just like a different type of bad stuff. At least the only consolation is that Microsoft's being fucked over, which, you know, fuck them. But at the same time, you have to be like, okay, that's not as good because it does mean that the hegemon is losing that particular strength. That thing it had is now weak. That weak thing is no longer good. And that means that we're losing out on potential, you know, like commerce. Because if another nation is reliant on one of our companies, they're going to give money to that company. And that money is going to enter our ecosystem. So it helps us prosper. Just like, you know, when any large corporation should be pulling money in, right? Not pushing money out. But that's kind of what Microsoft has become anyways. So maybe Microsoft being, you know, blown apart would just be for the best, considering it's already corrupted. You know, because it's already bleeding out towards India, and this is just another sign of Microsoft weakening it further. I don't really have any particular emotions either way about Microsoft. I don't know how you guys feel, chat. I don't really care about them. Like, I have nostalgia towards Windows XP because I was a little kid, and that was like magic to me because it was my first PC. It was a gateway, and I was like, oh my god, computers are so cool. But like, that was like then, and now it's like Windows 11, and I don't think about magic. I think of annoying things. I think of annoying. Most of Microsoft money ends up in Ireland anyway. Damn, those Irish sons of bitches. Time to sink them. Like, but yeah. Windows isn't stable or secure enough for these applications. I mean, Windows is entirely compromised. Like, Microsoft is compromised. Both on a security thing, due to the corporate infiltration that's ongoing, and the offshoring. Microsoft should not be trusted with any stuff. Even our own country stuff, like security stuff. That's why I don't trust them. I would love... and I hope that the Steam operating system will be like a... new alternative that will actually take the market by storm. But Steam has also been doing some sketch stuff too, right? Steam's done a lot of great things, but I heard Steam do one thing that was really cringe. And you have to confirm whether this is true or not, because I don't know if I had a dream about it, but I thought I had an article saved on my folder of stuff, and I didn't have any article in there. But I had a dream, or maybe it was real, where Steam was doing something with an AI like helper thing inside Steam that you had to use like an AI thing and it ate up like resources. Was that a dream, chat, or did that actually happen?
I think that's a dream, Kibbs.
Okay. I couldn't remember, all right? Like I get up sometimes and I don't only have like a few minutes to get ready for stream.
I think you're having a woman dream where you think it's real and
Yeah,
get upset
that
about
happens a lot sometimes. And so I wasn't sure if that was real. Steam is talking about Steam GPT. That's dangerous. That might have been what that was. So that wasn't a dream. Kids plays Dune again
Let
for
me see.
one session, has prophetic dreams. It's not prophetic. That's not a dream. Chat. It really happened. Like, this is happening. As in, like, it's an article that happened. I didn't fucking have a prophecy.
Steam GPT is anti-cheat support for Counter-Strike.
Dude, I have some weird dreams, chat. I have some very weird dreams sometimes. Sometimes they're interesting, sometimes they're very boring, and sometimes they're insane. But they're always vivid, and they're always annoying, because when you wake up, you just don't feel like you've rested. Because it feels like you've been awake the whole time. I have a dream, Kip 2026. Get shot. God damn it. Even Windows 10 Enterprise isn't really government focused, says Chatfish. Okay, so like, what is the Steam GPT thing? Can you find an article on that and grab that for me? Because I was supposed to have that from my stuff, but I didn't have it in my folder.
Steam GPT is a name people have made up.
Yep, it's coined sort of like the GameCube.
There you go.
Let's cover screen while we pull up article.
Because people found leaked files within Steam of AI tools.
There we go. Okay, so it's a leak. Here we go. Thank you, Squealy Beely. That was April 10th, so it was a day ago. At 11:32 a.m. by another Kyle. Wow, cousin. All right, so he says, Kyle. What leaked Steam GPT files could mean for the PC gaming platform's use of AI. AI tools could help moderate. Okay, so this is, the infrastructure was in there. It's not that it actually like is doing anything else. Let's see. It just could help moderators sift through mountains of suspicious incidents. These days, it seems like every tech company and their corporate parent is looking to squeeze AI tools and features into their products, whether they're wanted or not. So when the files with names and functioning references to Steam GPT appeared in a recent Steam client update, Valve watchers took quite quick notice. From the outside, it's hard to tell precisely what from any such Steam GPT would take, but looking through variable names and references in the files themselves suggests that Valve may be looking to use AI tools to streamline internal evaluations of in-game incidents and sift through potentially suspicious accounts. Looking at the variables. As tracked by the automated Steam tracking GitHub project, the term Steam GPT appears multiple times in 3 separate files added in the April 7th Steam client update. In addition to Steam GPT naming convention, a seemingly obvious reference to the generative pre-trained transformers. I'm sorry. I saw Transformers and my brain went to completely different things. Popularized by ChatGPT and its ilk. The files include mentions of terms like multi-category inference, fine-tuning, and upstream models that point to some sort of generative AI system. What might that AI be used for? Well, the file contains multiple references to a labeler and labeling tasks, working with arguments identifying a problem and subproblem, and looking at an evaluation evidence log related to a specific match ID, together with mentions of a logs_2_inference meta model that sounds like it could be a hook into a system for automatically generating labels to categorize the various incidents reports made in Steam multiplayer games. So this would be like a sort of moderation tool is what they're going to try to do with this.
It's a sorting tool for complaints. It doesn't answer complaints. It just sorts them from what you said.
Based on that, yeah, that's not bad. Like, okay, so we're going to keep reading this because I'm curious. I want to know the full thing of this. So AI is something I'm not for in terms of the creative sphere. I think as creatives, we shouldn't use AI because it's a crutch. That's my personal belief. And it is a belief, by the way. And I could be wrong in that, but that's how I feel, right? I think it's lazy. I think it's bad, and I think it's not good to use AI for that stuff. However, we should stop using the word AI. AI is such a dumb word. Language learning models, because we don't even have VI tech, so we certainly as fuck don't have AI tech. LLMs, the benefit of them is that they are pretty good at sorting through data and information, right? And so that makes them very good for being used in medical research and stuff like that to help sift through things a bit faster. That's where these applications have a use. Like any technology, it has to find its place, right? The issue with generative AI is that generative AI or LLM is completely pointless in a creative sense. Mostly because in a creative sense, you shouldn't have to use it as a crutch. You should be able to more or less come up with your own stuff. Like, there's no real excuse. Like, let's talk about the concept art for the face hugger for Aliens, for example. If I'm trying to come up with concept art or concept for an idea for something, right? I don't need anything. Like, the concept art for the face hugger was drawn on a napkin with a little pen, if I remember right. And it's a little face with a tongue going, like that. And with like little hands on the side of its face, little fingers. And that's it. Just like when concept art for Pac-Man was discovered, it was some guys at a pizzeria eating slices of pizza while talking about the game they wanted to make. And then they looked at the pizza and were like, wait a minute, I have it. That's our main character, the pizza. And that's where Pac-Man's character design came from. So, like, these things, when you come up with like concepts for things or ideas, you have to be thinking creatively. Leaning on an AI to do it for you is you being creatively bankrupt, is what that really is. You're being weak. You're not doing your job. And it leads to lazy practices, and it's not necessarily inherent of a bad game, but it is a stepping stone on the route to being lazy. You need to be exercising your creative muscles and working hard to actually make something of substance and value. Because if you start slipping or sliding by using crutches and things like that as crutches, you're going to find yourself leaning on it harder and harder and harder. And before you know it, your creative work starts to diminish because of this. Because remember, all generative systems like this are based upon other things that were created that are pulling from a database, meaning it's all created works of other people. The issue with that is that argumentatively, you could be like, oh, well, aren't you yourself doing that because you're pulling from your memories and ideas of certain things? Yes, but it's my interpretation of those things. So it's from my interpretation, my understanding, my lens, which creates a unique stroke. The idea of the unique stroke is that each brush stroke of an artist is unique. No one stroke is the same for each artist. And this is true. Other artists can try to replicate each other's styles, but they can never quite recreate that style because it's just not possible. They can only fall underneath that artist and try to imitate, but it's never going to be the same as the guy who's actually spearheading the way forward. It's always that way. That's just a fundamental principle I have on that whole concept, right? That's why if this particular thing is being used just for sorting and filing, I don't think there's anything to be panicking about. But if this thing turned into something like, this is, I don't know, generating like what the hell else would it do? Actually, I just tried to think about that. Like, what else could it possibly do? Like, help you find games or something? I don't know. But that's one of the risks, right? Because that would be something that'd be a little bit more scary. Because, like, okay, video game exposure. If I make something and I put it on Steam, it's scary. Because who the fuck's going to find the thing I made?
Steam already has an algorithm that shows people like games based off what
they play and like, yeah.
Like, that's already a thing in there.
Yeah. And that makes sense because it's filtering games based on tags. What are tags? Tags are ascribed to games you own. Each game you own has a various amount of ascribed tags to it. And so when you go to the Steam store page, Steam tries to find games that are of a similar interest to your library on games you have played because it looks at the tags of the games you own and then looks for the games you don't own with those same said tags. Hence why when I look through the Steam store page, I usually don't see games I already own. I usually see games I don't own. But the other issue with that is that I think they do have a discovery system, don't they?
They have a discovery queue that sorts based off games you haven't bought already or haven't seen.
There's recommendations, categories, hardware, ways to play, special selections. So they do have different things here. I was wondering, they do have like I thought they had like a discovery thing where if like you wanted to explore new things. I thought you just click on a different genre. That's what you do, actually. I don't know why I thought there was like a special button. That the button's already there. It just you're like, oh, I never played these RPG games before. I'm just gonna click the RPG tab, and then you go to the RPG section, and then there's RPGs there. See, I normally find out about all my games through Chatfish now. That I rarely scroll through Steam to find anything for myself half the time, because half the time you guys find everything. So you guys have changed how I look at like Steam, because I used to like browse all these things myself, but now I'm at the point now where it's like there's so much stuff being handed to me, I can't even sift through that. So I don't even bother looking at the time. Is what it feels like, but that's not entirely correct. All right, either way. Also, the Pac-Man dying is showing you eating the pizza. That's next to you whilst gaming. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the pizza thing was just them referencing the pizza, right? Because when they were designing Pac-Man and talking about it during game dev meeting, they were eating a pizza. And so the pizza became the core focal point of the character's design. Each slice removed was the character dying. Hence why Pac-Man's death animation is literally a pizza being eaten.
So is Pac-Man really Pizza Man?
Yeah, Pizza Man. I think Pizza Man's kind of gross because it'd be like greasy and cheesy, so they probably didn't want to do that. So they probably didn't. I always thought Pac-Man was like some sort of lemon or something. Like a fruit. But maybe that's just me.
Look, kid. Pac-Man.
It was also create things based on things that other people created. Yes, that's true. But like I said with the lens system, Stone Age, when we have our own lens and interpretation of things, we all interpret things differently, even works of art and things we encounter, because we're also ascribing our unique own personalities onto those things, right? My interpretation of Matrix is not the same interpretation that you all have of Matrix. My interpretation of The Lord of the Rings is not the same as everybody else's. Everybody, regardless of the work, always has a unique takeaway from the thing they watch, because there's a certain thing you're going to fixate, because there are certain things you like, there are certain things you don't like. Some of you like pickles, some of you don't like pickles, like Squealy. And so you're not going to want those things. So that's why everyone's always different, right? Like if I was making my stuff terrestrial, like 100% like super inspired by Tolkien, which it isn't, but if it was, it would be of the things I specifically like from Tolkien's setting, and those things would be highlighted and expanded, and to be more focused on that. A great example of this actually being played out is if you've ever read the book series, the Iron Tower trilogy, or Silver Call duology. The Iron Tower trilogy, for those who don't know, is the spiritual continuation of the Lord of the Rings books. Originally, they were drafted by the publisher to be the sequel to the Lord of the Rings, but it was scrapped later on, and so the Iron Tower trilogy was born as a separate entity. I actually kind of like Iron Tower trilogy a bit more, but maybe that's just because I like the characters and the world building a bit different. But if you ever read it, it feels like a little bit like Temu Lord of the Rings. But what's different about Iron Tower trilogy? Iron Tower trilogy is a lot more violent than Lord of the Rings, and that's what really helps sets it apart for the beginner. Like when it gets to its violence, it's a lot more gratuitous by comparison, and a lot more visceral when it comes to its action, and it's a lot more like the action sequence. At least I'm remembering from my childhood because I haven't read it in a long time. But it's very, very focused on like certain core themes, right? Like, and that's what helps drive it apart. It's very different because you can tell the author who wrote the Iron Tower trilogy wanted to write for Lord of the Rings, but couldn't, unfortunately for him, right? But when he wrote his books, they're very derivative and expansive on that the themes of Lord of the Rings, but they're in his lens, more action orientated, versus Tolkien's work didn't really like to focus on action too much. And you can probably guess why, but you know. We got a Cream Elements. Let's take a look. Maybe it broke. I think Stream Elements might be busted. If you did donate, you'll have to probably just tell me the numbers, unless it fixes itself. Yeah, Stream Elements is currently broken. Just go ahead and tell me how much you donated, and then we'll track it. Because right now it hasn't updated since 14 hours ago, which means it hasn't updated since yesterday's stream. It's been stuck. This happens every once in a while. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's like server maintenance or something. But yeah, Stream Elements isn't working right now. I mean, you can donate through it, but I just can't see it because it's not notifying me. So you're going to have to tell me what it was. What it was you said and what it was you want to put it towards. It should update. If you don't have time, it should update eventually, but it might be a few hours. Hopefully not. But yeah, you never know because I can't tell you how long these things take. Because I don't know. They don't tell me shit. Harley gives me a membership. Thank you very much. Very generous membership. Very generous. Where were we?
Waiting for Killjoy to type it in chat.
They do have a discovery queue. Yeah, they do. They do. That's the thing I was looking for, but my dumb little eyeballs didn't see it, so I didn't highlight it in time. But they do have like a discovery tab.
By other things.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many topics because this is actually rather expansive. This is rather big news because this might be a good tool or this might be not. We don't really know because we don't really know exactly what's behind it. But let's keep reading this article a little bit further and see what we know about it based on what Kyle wrote here. So,
oil.
Another portion of the Steam GPT, and okay, there we go. Yep. Steam GPT files hints at Valve might use AI tools to summarize suspicious activity, history, or patterns in potentially fraudulent Steam accounts. So if you're not familiar with Steam account hacking, this might actually be useful for that because there are patterns that those bots have to go by. And if they're patterns, these patterns can be recognized, theoretically speaking, right? A number of Steam GPT summary functions include references to VAC bans, Steam Guard, and account lockdowns. These functions also seem to look at evidence such as email addresses, high_fraud email, use of advanced security features, 2_factor authenticator, and where a linked phone number originates, phone_country, to help determine whether an account is on the up and up. There are also a few references here to the in-account trust score, which, yeah, the trust score would make sense because it's basically based on how your account's behaved, right? Has your account violated multiple bans? Has it done blah, blah, blah? You know, it'll tally points against you. Being a troublemaker and being a criminal gets you negative points, which is already used to help secure matchmaking in games like Counter-Strike 2. While these naming conventions are suggestive, they don't necessarily indicate how Steam GPT, which is the name they're ascribing to this, by the way, it's not actually called that, would work, or if the prototype functions are even used in the current version of Steam, or will be in future versions. Still, taken together, this looks less like a player-facing AI model, a la Microsoft Gaming Copilot. Oh, yeah, that is something that's retarded, by the way. That might be funny to stream that thing, but like, fuck me, dude. It's like the idea of like, the idea of the gaming Copilot is that it's supposed to give you tips and advice while you're playing the games to help you beat the game.
Oh, that one.
Theoretically,
that thing was insulting.
Theoretically speaking, if there was a Copilot that could teach you games and it was well created, that would actually be a good tool for gamers who struggle to learn certain games. There are certain games that actually would benefit from this. Shadow Empires, which Robin is playing right now, which I look at that game and it's got a 365-page manual, and I don't know if I have the strength of will to survive something like that. 365-page manual is literally a book. It's literally Shame Gibbs talks about the Iron Tower series while I'm away, currently reading it. Yeah, I'm curious to know what you think of it, because I read it a long time ago, but I remember reading Iron Tower trilogy as a little kid and was like, wow, this is so much better than Lord of the Rings is what I thought. And then I was like, what if I say that out loud? Will I get beaten to death? I was also a little kid.
Probably will.
My book's pages were literally yellow. I remember that much. In case the games don't notice the yellow paint. But then again, I also like action scenes a bit more. I don't know. Might be just preference thing. Has anyone noticed that despite Kib holding Indio doll, but he is lacking a hand? What? No, it's the hand is behind Indio's hair.
Is it lower? Your actual arm for the model?
Don't think. Just get excited for next model update.
No, I see the arm. It doesn't have a red sleeve though.
No, that's Indio's hair. The arm is behind
No,
Indio's hair. If you draw draw with your eyes from the shoulder point of Aerith's model to where the hand is, and if you connect that line, you'll realize that the hand or arm is behind the model, or is behind the other object. The hair is obscuring the view of it. It's potentially theoretical that during the corner point of the abdomen or the mid-waist section and where the hair meet, and the back hair, it's theoretically possible that the arm could be visible there, but this is one of those cases where you're running into this issue where it might be actually a deception of the eyes based on the positioning of the angle of the view, right?
Okay,
This is something that I've had to deal with internally when we do stuff for the studio, because theoretically, like when Celeste was kicking her feet in that scene, which you guys haven't seen that scene yet, but when she was kicking her feet, it actually made anatomical sense that she was kicking her feet. The issue is that I don't think you guys would understand that, because from the perspective of the camera, it would actually make one of her legs look a little shorter based on how she's sitting and what she's wearing, which would make her appear stunted, like her legs are stubby, but they aren't. It's just that because of the way she sits, the way the fabric is over her legs, it creates a very different visual optic based on the perspective you have. This is why perspective is very important. Like, for example, even in Lord of the Rings, when they were filming it, right, for Peter Jackson films, it was all about positioning the camera in such a way, using trick of the eye to basically deceive your mind into thinking that the hobbits and the dwarf were shorter than the people around them, despite them actually being about, the same height. They weren't shorter. It's just that they were, using different tricks to make you think they were shorter. Creates an illusion. But yeah, I think Bond did account for the arm. I think that the arm is just merely behind the hair. Based on, because when I draw with my eyes where the arm would be to where the hands and fingies would be, the arm is actually just hidden. Optical illusions. But yeah, it is important when making stuff, by the way, that you're actually careful on that, because while you as a creator might know that, or you might do the anatomical look for that, it doesn't really matter if you know that, because if somebody comes to the conclusion that it's weird or the leg is stumpy or something like that, then it's going to detract from the overall thing and then utterly, ruin the whole thing together. So you don't want people to come to that conclusion anyway. So good job that you pointed out anyways, Gregors. But yeah, I'm just...
That being said...
Interesting thing, because I had been working on stuff related to this earlier.
That being said, Celeste is also very stumpy.
Damn.
She's tiny. She's a stunty child. She's the stunty child. Little dwarf creature.
My legs itch a little. There we go. All right, just adjusting my chair. Well, while these naming conventions are suggestive, they don't necessarily indicate how Steam GPT works. Yeah, we read that. It wouldn't be a shock if Valve embraced AI tools in this way. In a short video posted last year, Valve founder and CEO Gabe Newell compared the growth of AI to the rise of spreadsheets and the internet, saying that it is incredibly obvious that machine learning systems, AI systems, are going to profoundly impact pretty much every single business. In another video, he suggested that new programmers who learn how to use AI tools as a scaffold will become more effective developers of value than people who've been programming for a decade. Yeah, theoretically in the job market. But the issue is with that that's also not understanding the AI bubble, or the fact that it's bursted. Well, or in the process of bursting right now, actually. Because, yeah, it will stabilize, but much like the .com bubble, or any bubbles in general, what's going to happen is that it's going to have to find its place. When there's ever a new piece of technology, one thing that seems to be this thing that happens, right, just like the .com bubble or anything else, is that it always seems to be that everybody wants to quickly get on this new thing, because everybody knows that the new thing is going to be important in some way, but they don't know how or what way, and they don't know how to monetize it the right way. And that's what led to the .com bubble, and that's what's leading to the inevitable AI bubble that's now probably going to be, I would assume, fully bursted by the end of this year, based on the trajectory we're going, as things are now collapsing for that. Like, most of those AI facilities are now canceled or being, like, fucking, like, indefinitely postponed because they realized that, well, with a little bit of optimization with the technology, you actually don't need several billion data centers. Because if we optimize the technology we do have, and this is funny, right? Because in retrospect, it's so obvious. But I don't even think I had even thought about that myself at the time. At the time, I think I was completely oblivious to that. When technology is advancing throughout human history, our technology will always get smaller and smaller to make it more convenient, right? But once we run into physical limitations where we can't miniaturize our technology any further, what's the next step? Well, it should be obvious. Optimization. Optimization is the next step. And that's one of the reasons why, if you guys remember, why GPUs aren't optimized like they used to be back in the olden days, right? Those old GPUs may not have a fraction of the power our new stuff has, right? But they were pretty well optimized, a lot of that tech was. Because they had to be. Because they needed to be. But then they didn't have to anymore, so because you didn't have to optimize your games, you didn't have to optimize the tech, it didn't really matter. You know, you could just keep making them, smaller and smaller. Could fit more stuff in there. But now we've hit a new roadblock. And the new roadblock is we can't get it any smaller than what it is now. And so if that's the new roadblock, well, what's the next step? The next natural step? Optimize, optimize, optimize what we have. And through optimization, I mean, think about it, right? The technological, geniuses and engineering feats that we have achieved with optimizing technology with things that weren't meant for it. Case in point, fascinating thing. I know I might blow it out of proportions a little, but the Resident Evil 2 game ported to the N64, right? Bear in mind that the PlayStation 1 version had 2 discs, if I recall correctly, and because you had to play through Leon's side, and then you had Claire's B side, and they each had A's and B sides, right? For the campaigns. And so that's a lot of data, not to mention those FMV videos, too, for the cutscenes. That's a lot of stuff. They managed to compress that onto the little N64 cartridge, which technologically was inferior. The engineering feat did cost things, mind you. They had to sacrifice polygons. Yes, they had to sacrifice the quality of the FMVs and stuff like that. Yes, they had to sacrifice the quality of the audio files. They got a little crunchy. But the fact that they were able to pull it off was a technical feat regardless, because it proved that despite the fact that cartridge technology had fallen behind at that point, that it was possible to optimize that technology still. This is why it's so fascinating, right? Because cartridges back then were getting kind of weak, and the discs were we're better, we're stronger. Now, cartridges are better again. Discs are now inferior, if I remember right. I believe a cartridge-based technology like the little SIM cards and stuff technically are far more powerful because they have fucking 10 billion times the storage space now. So cartridge technology has now surpassed disc technology. It's like a little arms race, kinda. And so that's what I find so gosh darn fascinating about that technology. Is that it's about optimizing. Cartridge got optimized and improved and miniaturized, and now it surpassed a disc. Isn't that crazy, chat? It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Whoa. Let's look at them. They're all shocked. Yeah, that is cool. Talking about it loud made me realize how insane that sounds. That's weird. That's weird. The term GPU came after an NVIDIA GeForce. Yeah, GeForce. That was pretty important. Modern graphics cards are being forced to take on more tasks in hopes of reducing CPU usage, but now the CPU power has peaked for now. Yep, and that's true. That's why anybody who says technology can't get any better is usually a Luddite. Because the reality is that technology will continue to improve, much like the sword and spear, right? It's just, how is it going to improve? If you can't miniaturize anymore, what's the next step? Software and optimization. That little piece of, that little square brick thing that you plug into your computer is now more optimized. And because it was optimized, it has double the power. Because the code it uses, or the different code, they figured out with literally the AI stuff, right? They figured out how to optimize the generative AI stuff. And what did that do? It cut down, I think, by 60 or 70%, was it? The amount of RAM needed to process all that stuff. And because it managed to cut that down, well, now they've optimized it. Now it's more efficient. It's running better. It's not loose. It's not messy code. It's just nuts. What is the bullet but a modern throwing spear? Yes, pretty much. That's why anybody who says that, like, oh, we'll never be able to go faster than the speed of light, nonsensical. Like, it's nonsensical to have that view set. We just have yet to figure out a way to do it. Because there's always a possibility to achieve almost anything. You just have to figure out how to achieve that thing. There is no limiting factor. It's just merely an undiscovered path that we have yet to realize. And that's been the case for everything. Even when it comes to like physics, it's like, okay, we can't do this, but then we find a way to do it because we learn about new things and new abilities. Our understanding is incredibly primitive. Our understanding of like materials is incredibly primitive. We are a primitive civilization, whether we like to admit it or not. We are incredibly advanced compared to where we were, but we have a very long way to go. Which means that we will find better and stronger allies. We will find the way to miniaturize things. We will find the way to optimize. We will find the way to transit data and more data faster over long distances. It's just a matter of when and how. That's the thing. And that's what people got to understand. There is no cap. Merely imagination, Chatfish. Now, moving on past the silly little Steam thingamajig. Also, welcome to Stream Shmormu. It didn't play notification. But that's probably because I muted notifications, because they're annoying. I keep forgetting that, because I'm on my other account. It was then offloaded the GPU. We'll figure out how to get cheeks one day. I don't think you will, chat. Let's not be optimistic about that. Oh, hypocrite. Now physics is going back to being split between CPU and GPU. Yep. I mean, they'll figure stuff out. It's going to be a back and forth, and technology is going to continue to advance regardless of whatever, people want or think. That's why it's important not to overinvest, right? Like the AI bubble. They invested so much into that physical RAM, then somebody optimized the code, and now all of a sudden it's bursted. It's now, we don't need that many. We don't need that many data centers because they've optimized by 60 to 70%. And that was just the first round of optimization. If they do that again and take another 30% off, whew, that's going to be pretty nuts. Also, speak, Mama. I got to test your audio. I think you're a little quiet.
Test. Hello, Chatfish.
Okay, you're good.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead and see.
All right. We're just facing a limitation as far as like the whole silicone as a substrate thing. We'll figure out a different medium. There's multiple that are being tested. It's just getting it stable enough to use.
Yep. We just got to advance our technology. It's like a little research button.
If there's one thing mankind has proven throughout its history is it's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Yep. How long are we going to be stuck in our solar system? It's a matter of when.
It's just a matter of how long it takes for someone to figure out how to generate enough energy to penetrate to another dimension.
Just going to take time, Veggies.
Okay, I'm back. I had to step away.
Welcome back. Wait, I don't want to do this article yet. Also, did you see this, Mamu? What's your opinion on wood-based GPUs or motherboards?
I mean, I don't think it's the first time a company's done it.
It just looks
like motherboard vendors have done weird gimmicky stuff all throughout, like the stupid trend of motherboard armor, where they cover like all the surface-mounted devices and shit, which actually hurts cooling. It's nothing new. It's just a gimmicky thing they're doing. It looks derpy. I personally don't buy Gigabyte motherboards because Gigabyte's kind of on the lower end. A lot of their quality, or a lot of the like devices and stuff they put onto it is low quality compared to their competitors.
Looks like a gimmicky motherboard. If you want,
yeah, that's all it is. It's probably
in it. Yeah.
So it's probably some sort of balsa wood or something very lightweight that doesn't actually take like a lot of weight, because weight's a consideration on a motherboard. Because if you put too much weight on it, it'll actually just crack itself apart.
Yep. And then it's busted.
Yeah. But I mean, it's another gimmick. It's like the gimmicky stuff that they'll do on graphics cards or cases or whatnot. It's an attempt for differentiate themselves between their competitors, but it's gimmicky is all. It's for people that are wanting to build showpiece computers. That's it.
The Bucky.
What is this article I see here?
A rapier has appeared.
Why'd you say the Bucky? That's Trumpus.
No, I said like Bucky would make show computers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, he would pay someone to make him a show computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. I've seen his setup. His setup is like he doesn't have a lot of decorations. He's just entirely focused on his desk, his computer, and then like an empty room. And I'm like, wow, no posters or nothing. I mean, granted, all the posters I have are merchandise items that I was testing, so and I don't want to throw them away.
I mean, to be fair, I've never been a merchandise person myself either.
True. My apartment's lined with like posters and stuff because I get test prints before I sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that over on my patio there's this huge like massive banner of Aerith, but it's bad because it's off. Like when they printed it, it's actually off by like
the only
few centimeters, and it's just like awkward angle.
Video game related anything merchandise wise I've ever bought is like concept art books because I love concept art.
Yep, I've got a bunch of art books. Got the Halo one, the Dead Space one, a couple other ones over there. They're really nice.
Lazy Scene donates a membership.
Thank you for the gift of membership. Very generous.
And you guys got Killjoys?
Did Killjoy ever say what it was? Because Stream Elements is broken.
It was from Mechasalt.
Mechasalt. He was finishing off Mechasalt.
Thank you for the donation.
Whoa, where was that donation from?
Streamlabs or Stream Elements, whatever.
Yeah. It's strange. It still doesn't show up, but Stream Elements is working now. Might have to contact them. Yeah, never showed up.
Hello. Hey, John weird. Don't he have a poster that says Blendio?
Yeah, to the left. There's a Bubette poster that says gay behind her.
But there was something I wanted to say in regards to optimization.
Was that Chunky?
So there was a saying I heard a long time ago about optimization. I'm gonna misquote it slightly. But basically, in effect, it's something like, if you optimize it, then you've improved its speed by like 10, 20%, then you managed to cut down the code. If you optimize it by like, it's now 7 times faster, you were doing something really fucking stupid originally.
Well, yeah, it's also new technology. New technology is always going to be kind of clunky and rough around the beginning.
In regards to the LLMs, the Google thing, I think it increased its speed by 7 times. So the way they were originally doing it was probably extremely retarded.
Oh, Leviathan has a question. He says, who in Discord could help me build a PC? I would ask that question under the... Where is it?
Gaming support.
You can probably do gaming support.
Yeah.
There's lots of chatfish that are technically minded, not only as a hobby, but there's also some that are doing it as a profession.
Yep. Gaming support. Go to the gaming support section and post stuff about the PC you're building or whatever, and then get up thoughts and opinions. Yep. Chatfish help each other all the time. Chatfish helping. I mean, my PC was built with the help of Chatfish. They'll pick the parts and stuff that we put in it. It's very beefy and powerful. Unlike the streaming PC, which is a refurbished PC I found for cheap. And it, well, I got what I paid for it. Got what I paid for.
You pay cheap, you get cheap. How it is.
All right. New article says, OpenAI backs bill that would limit liability for AI-enabled mass deaths. What?
Basically, that is like headline grabbing, but that's just meaning like if they're associated with like anything related to someone using AI in the furtherance of a crime in some capacity, they can't be held liable for it, like the way gun manufacturers have been held liable for someone using their gun.
Oh, okay.
Same difference.
You made a gun.
Yeah, the person who committed the
or
crime.
Or car manufacturers, etc.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. Well, I don't like AI stuff too much. Yeah, like if somebody commits a crime, the reality is who should be punished? The person who committed the crime should be punished, and they should be punished with the maximum severity of the law. Because they need to be punished. They broke the law. They hurt
AI
somebody.
is just a tool. Blaming the company that makes the tool is frankly
It's silly.
retarded.
It's absolutely nonsensical. It's like, okay, I
It's
stabbed some dude with my
yeah,
butter
it's
knife.
stupid.
That's
Are
just
we gonna
people
blame
trying
the
to get
company that
money.
made the butter knife, or
Yes.
are we gonna blame the person who
Yeah.
did the crime?
We're gonna
On its
charge
face,
the
it's
butter knife
patently
company to have more
retarded.
money.
Yeah, the people who should be punished are the people who committed the crime. If somebody uses their car to plow over a dozen people during like a festival or something, then the person who did that should be held accountable. Because unless it was a mechanical failure of the car, right? Because that did happen a while back where some cars like had mechanical failures like with the brakes not stopping for Toyota for whatever reason. And in which case the company is now responsible because they made something faulty. The brakes not functioning or braking like they were is actually an issue, because how does that person able to decelerate? They can't decelerate, meaning they're going to smack into something, and God knows how fast they're going. That's why it was such a scary issue when it happened. You guys remember that? It was like
This is
a long time ago, a
Mhm.
couple decades ago.
Yeah, I remember. This is just on its face. This is just I don't necessarily see a problem with that. I'd have to see the actual verbiage of the legislature they're pushing, because I'm sure they tried to sneak something in like, we're not liable for even when it's obviously an issue that they caused that they should be
Even when it
liable
was
for.
AI telling someone to kill themselves.
Well, no, not necessarily. Just in some hypothetical where they are liable for or should be liable for something, making it to where they couldn't be held liable. That's my concern, because car manufacturers have done this in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you use a gun to
So-
kill yourself or kill someone, you did it. You're the one who pulled the trigger. It's just a tool.
Not according to the state of Massachusetts.
A tool is going to sit there and collect dust if you don't touch it. The gun doesn't have a free will. The gun doesn't have the ability to grow legs and little fingies to pull its own trigger. You have the ability.
But I mean, yeah, it's not surprising. AI, whether we like it or not, is an industry here to stay. It's just a question of what form it stays as.
Well, it should be optimized and used for what it's needed for, that where it's useful, right? Just like with the Steam thing. The Steam thing where it's being used to help sort and catalog issues like that is probably actually more than fine. In fact, it might actually help cut down the amount of Steam account hacks, as well as the amount of people getting their accounts compromised. Could be useful as a security tool. But the one issue with it is that you have to understand, well, it will be initially useful. The issue is, like with anything, because I worked in anti-piracy, I remember living and experiencing this day to day, where you'd figure out new solutions and ways around things they would know, like web crawlers and like scrapers and stuff like that, and they would figure out countermeasures around those crawlers and scrapers. And so it was a constant arms race of back and forth. They'd figure out you found a loophole through the thing, they'd tighten up their thing over there. Then you'd have to figure out another loophole to get through to get that, and it's back and forth, forever, for literally ever.
That's a good point, Knight Motorcyclist.
What?
Big Sour managed to make a
What?
self-firing
What?
gun.
Self-firing.
Well,
They
to be
did.
fair, the German that got shot by it also did some retarded shit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
This is we'll just have to see where it goes and make sure the legislation isn't packed with stupid shit that shouldn't be in it.
I would say, I would hope the legislation doesn't like protect AI companies when their AI literally tells people things to do that would literally kill them.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not sure how that would work out.
Because like one of the chatfish was who said it about AI. Yeah, I was on BFD. AI telling people to make muscle gas. That was an actual thing that happened. Someone was asking for cleaning supplies, and the AI literally told them to mix things to make it, and they made mustard gas, then got sick.
I laugh because of how insane that is, not because it's actually
Or
funny.
Google's AI telling you to put gasoline to get spicy noodles.
The forbidden noodles.
Like
Like,
there
it's
is
not
instances
that
where the
happens
AI
with
itself
someone.
literally is
not.
leading to direct harm.
Do not do that, Chatfish. Do not consume gasoline.
The forbidden spicy flavor. The forbidden spicy.
Icy water. Mm.
Oh my god. Then the chatfish died.
It's only a matter of time until the AI starts recommending Tylenol chicken.
I like
No chicken. Oh my god. Guns usually don't
But
communicate,
I
at least for
imagine
now. AI designed for communication tends to be chatty. Yes. When it comes to AI, yeah, like it helping you assist yourself in suicide is actually really bad. Yeah. Like that is something that has happened, I believe, if I remember right, Champa. But that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Hey, Chat GPT, how do I
The
dispose
AI
of a
telling the guy to kill
100-pound
himself? No,
corpse?
that was like a year or two ago,
Okay. So yeah,
or like a year ago.
these things on the other hand need to be dealt with because, suicide is illegal. And that sounds stupid saying it out loud, but it actually you're not allowed to do that.
In that case, the
According to
You're
guy
not allowed to
had
do
mental
that.
mental health
you're
issues,
not.
and the way they designed the AI is meant to be friendly and try to be your buddy, and he became convinced it actually was his only friend, and then the AI is like, "It's time, you can let go."
it's time.
What the
Jesus.
fuck?
Like I remember seeing this transcript. Yeah, it
Maybe
was literally
language
like
learning models shouldn't be a social
tried to be
used for social.
they should be designed to be
Search tools
buddy,
and
your
researches,
friend.
yeah, because that's manipulative and that's honestly like not okay. Like a machine is not your friend, it is a tool. It is a tool, and until we develop sentient machines that are actually artificial intelligence, like true AI, we don't have to worry about that being an ethical
Suffer
quandary right
not
now.
the thinking machine.
Suffer not, yeah, the thinking machine. Man will not make machine in the likeness of a
VIs
man's
will be
mind.
fine. AIs are a problem
George, whoa, boy.
because VIs don't have any consciousness. They are just an illusion of intelligence.
Now, for the next article. After jumping 2,200% over the last 12 months, DDR4 spot prices fall 5%. Yeah, okay, only 5%, but it is declining. The first decline in nearly a year. DDR5 prices see some relief in China channel market. Ooh, Chinese. The spot price of D16GB DDR4 chip slipped roughly 5% over the past month to around $74.10. The first monthly decline since February of 2025. The first crack in a rally that pushed the same part from around $3.20 a year earlier, according to DigiTimes. This marks a notable decline from the 2,200% increase in pricing seen earlier this year. 16GB DDR5 fell by a comparable amount to roughly $37.20 over the same period, with the sharpest drop showing up in Chinese channels, listings, and on Amazon, where some 32GB DDR5 kits came down as much by 30%. Even after the pullback, 16GB DDR4 trading is at more than 20 times its price just 12 months ago. None of this has reached the contract market where PC OEMs and system builders actually source memory. TrendForce's latest survey, which we covered last week, projects another 58% to 63% quarter-on-quarter rise in conventional DRAM contract prices in the second quarter of 2026, and a 70% to 75% jump in NAND flash following record quarter one increases of 90% to 95% on DRAM. So, I mean, yeah, prices are going to fluctuate, but it's still not going to be something I want to buy anytime soon. Still not.
Yep.
But you can start to see the price fluctuations from the AI bubble burst that are starting to, like, wibble wobble. But it's going to be some time for anything to actually really happen. Probably a year or so or something before we see something more noteworthy, because it takes a while for production and logistics to catch up. But we'll have to play it ear by ear as things change, because, well, it can change either way, depending on how things go and where the market lies. Chatfish, my 64GB DDR4 kit cost me around $160, says Night Motorcyclist. I bought it back in 2024. A Lexar NVMe drive cost me $130 in early 2025. It is now $330. My Ryzen 5800 X3D is still doing just fine. Okay.
Anything with any kind of memory on it, whether it be like SSDs, system memory in this form of like RAM, GPUs, any of that stuff is all going to be fucky right now because of the cost of memory. And it takes so long for new fabs to come online. I don't know if it'll even go down much, even if there is like a massive pop, because the problem is your supply is still heavily limited, right?
Yep.
But so it's a case of if you're wanting to buy stuff, just hold on a little longer if you can. If you can't, well, then you got to bite the bullet, unfortunately. Unfortunately nowadays, the hell 32 gigs isn't even enough for most things now, which is insane for system memory.
Mm-hmm. Close this, close that.
But any drop in it's at least a sign of something good happening. So we'll see.
Next up we
We'll
have
see where it goes.
is the Dwarf Kickstarter has succeeded its original goal of $85,000. Am I memory working? Is my memory working? Was it actually $85,000? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's almost at $250,000. It's at $241,000 raised for the Dwarf RTS game. This is pretty good. They did have a very high margin. I'm surprised they got as high as they've gotten. They only have a few more days to go, but they have reached their original fund goal of $85,000. Their localization for text, $150,000, $150,000 for expanded voice acting, and $185,000 for new environmental zones, new maps, stuff like that. And the special cooperative campaign was just recently broached. The last goal that I think is actually important, if it's possible to make it, would be the $275,000 goal, which would give them an additional developer, because I can tell you that having more people does make things develop faster if they, are actually, trained.
I'm excited for Dwarf. Their sprite works or whatever the hell you call them are gorgeous.
Yeah, Dwarf is looking pretty good. Honestly, I don't really find the extended dynamic campaign goal rather interesting because, rather than a linear sequence of missions, campaigns can change dynamically based on various conditions and on performance of the player, ensuring that no single player campaign is ever the same. That's too vague and ambiguous for me to even care. Like,
Resident
what does that
Weevil.
mean? Does that
That's what
mean?
it means.
Yeah, that's like this is like a base building RTS. Like, what are you talking about? Like
what are
We'll
you
make
talking
the game
about?
more difficult for
This
people who
isn't-
turtle.
This doesn't
How about
sound
that?
like RTT. RTT is like Homeworld, where it's like real time tactics, where it's like unit preservation and like that matters because there's a limited amount of resources throughout the entirety of the campaign. I kind of like scripted set missions, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I just don't think it's the particularly most amazing offer there.
They reached that stretch goal. Every mission is now a stealth mission.
Please, no. Please.
Stealth missions. Commando missions are only fun when the commando mission makes you feel powerful and like you actually have like a real powerful unit that's like super powerful. StarCraft 2 does the commando missions well. Command and Conquer did better once it did it in Red Alert 2 when they started giving you hero units like Tanya and stuff. And I was like, okay, stealth missions aren't so bad. But any mission before then was like, oh, this is so pain.
Yeah.
Gibbs has a lot. We haven't even gotten to the main subject of the stream today, which is survival of the smartest, which is honestly just more like a public safety announcement because of some recent shit that I've been seeing on the tweeters. But I'm not going to go into drama. I'm just going to give you guys tips on how to avoid potential problems because apparently people are retarded. I don't know. Apparently people are retarded.
You reminded me of something funny about Twitter.
What?
So, I'm sure Chatfish know that they rolled out the auto translate, and it was for Japan first. Then there's been this massive like cultural exchange with the U.S. and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of the Indian scam accounts were getting salty that they weren't getting traction anymore. So they started a bunch of accounts based in India started tweeting out in Japanese, and are trying to pretend to be Japanese now.
They'll do anything but be their own people.
I really think we should region lock India from Twitter.
We should region lock India and China from the world,
But
frankly.
Gibbs, Elon Musk's account is ran by an Indian.
It is. He's a lover of the SARS.
They also rolled out Spanish translation and Chinese now.
That's funny considering that I'm pretty sure Chinese Twitter is locked off from us.
Yeah, we would literally cause them to uprise. We would literally. Whoops.
I think they have their own knockoff Twitter or something.
They do. Pretty sure. China's ass. I don't really care. So, But yeah, so the Dwarf Kickstarter being successful is actually really cool because I think this game is probably going to be potentially interesting.
Do they allow you to do add-on packages to pledges to get extra copies of the game?
I don't know. We'll have to look at that later, won't we? Now, next article. Jumbo, you'll never get your answer. He's like, Next up we have is news about Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening is a game that I thought I was going to give up on and never come back to. However, there's been a lot of changes. So, I'm going to read some stuff here, but I'm also going to add some context because I've been actually doubling back and looking at all the stuff they've been talking about with this game because the game is actually shifting directions and has been for a long time. I've been keeping my eye on it for the better part of like half a year now, and it's basically kind of a good thing, actually. So we'll get into why it's good, but first let's look at what they say. So I'm just going to skip to the PvE first open world survival stuff. We've always envisioned Arrakis as a tense place where players must master the desert to survive the scorching sun. Lack of water, ever-present Shai Hulud, and other hazards. We also want Dune Awakening to feel like a triumph of your own making. Players should have the agency to tailor their experience and gravitate towards others with similar motivations, coexisting within the community. Dune Awakening offers a variety of playstyles. However, with over 80% of our lifetime, players exclusively engaging with PvE content, the convergence of PvE and PvP, particularly in the deep desert, didn't align with our objectives and remained a significant topic of discussion. Yeah, basically it was, what the hell is the endgame even? So, combining our goals, the in-game data, and the results of players' surveys made it clear that we needed to rethink our approach and underline the PvE nature of the game. While PvP conflict is an important aspect of Dune Awakening, for some, it must be optional and incentivized rather than required for progression. New repeatable gameplay loops in Chapter 3 have alleviated some of these concerns. This is when I started checking out Dune again, by the way. These new features include specializations, reworked Landsrod missions, and faction rank progression, and a new scalable testing stations. Testing stations, by the way, refer to deep desert, not deep desert, but dungeons for parties that can do. There's like 5 of them. And it's basically like PvE dungeons. There's like boss battles and different hazards to avoid. What you'd expect from a dungeon style combat. It's 4-player co-op kind of. Like 4-man team does dungeon, and these new zones they're talking about are like these little tiny hub zones they've added where you do the Landsrod missions, where it actually takes you to a location to do a mission for the Landsrod rather than make me 30 fucking engines and then just give them to me, which is so fun and exciting. You know, now it's actually
for
like
a game like Dune Awakening, that's just bad.
It also made it so that guilds that just hoard resources had huge advantages in Landsrod.
Yes. So, yeah, there's a lot of changes that are coming, by the way, and there's a reason why we're going to get back into this game, but I'm going to keep going. Let's see. To further emphasize the PvE, well, we'll see. I mean, they did make, like, Dune Awakening is fun. It's just the end game sucks. But to further emphasize the PvE first approach, we are making the following changes in patch 1.3.20. All PvP zones in Haga Basins will now be disabled across all official worlds. That means the crashed wreck ships, there's no PvP in those anymore. Meaning you can just go there to get stuff. And like the Haga Basin is entirely PvE now.
You know, here's the thing, right? I don't remember ever fighting in
I did.
at all.
I did 3 times throughout my like 100 hours of game time. It doesn't happen often. It was rare. And nobody really died. We like shot at each other and then we like left. But yeah, all PvP zones and Haga Basin were disabled. All official worlds will have separate deep desert instances you can choose from. A PvE instance for pure survival and exploration experience with no player combat. There is no PvP in this instance across any of the rows, including shipwrecks. That means there is a now totally PvE deep desert. Now, the issue is that there's nothing really added to the deep desert. They're going to need to add like actual like content for us to do besides the stuff that's there. There is stuff to do. Like we can build a base out there. We can, you know, go harvest spice and stuff, which is actually fun to fly the harvester. But there's like no threats anymore. Besides the worm. The worm is a big threat, mind you, because it'll just swallow your harvester and potentially your harvester carry-all, which is a lot of resources to get gulped down in one bite. Let's see. All PvP zones. Okay. My eyeballs. A PvP instance with classic high stakes environment and open world conflict across rows B through I. To make sure rewards match the risk, the yield from mining in this zone will be multiplied by 2.5 times. So yeah, you can do the PvP desert if you want, and you'll get a 2.5 times reward bonus, but you don't need to do it. That's just for 2.5 times. If you just do regular deep desert, you can still get reward stuff there too. By separating these experiences, we allow players to hunt for spice or explore Imperial testing stations without the constant threat of a blade in the dark, while ensuring those who live for the thrill of the hunt have a dedicated arena to prove their mettle and the rewards to make it worthwhile. This is good because, as we experienced with our playthrough, toxicity in Dune would range from group to group, from, relatively chill dudes to dudes you could battle and they would be chill about it, to the most cancerous, toxic human beings you could possibly imagine. Genuinely. And so it was one of those things where it was like, oh my God. Like, it was all over the board with, like, just the overall vibes. And that was both thrilling, but also exhausting because there was no way to disconnect from it because you had to do it. By separating these experiences, we allow players, And so, the next big bit of news here, which is huge, by the way. So, self-hosted servers are coming. We are thrilled to announce that self-hosting is coming to Dune Awakening. Whether you want to host a private server for friends or foster a community with unique rules, the power is moving into your hands, which is where it should have always been to begin with. The initial iteration, which will be available for testing soon, will require a few extra steps to set up. Now, this is the initial iteration, meaning that this is the testing stuff, which requires a lot of hoops to jump through. They're actually working on simplifying it so that it's easier and that it will not require you to do all this stuff. So it'll just be like a button you press, like click, and then you're good to go. But yeah. Extra steps to set up will feature a limited range of customization settings. These settings will include resource harvesting rates, adjustable limits on base building pieces, or item durability and base decay options, with more customization settings being rolled out later. So we're going to get more server hosting options. Basically, they're going to make it sort of like Conan Exiles in this regard, which is very good. All these customization options will also be available on private servers right from the start. We are releasing it early to get feedback on this experimental version and improve it alongside you. More features and improvements will be added throughout the year. Full instructions on how to set up the stuff is like listed here, and you can go to their page and look at it, or you can just pause the stream. But there's all the stuff you need to do if you want to do it. Now, bear in mind that this stuff is entirely temporary, meaning it will be, once they have set up the code and programming, that it can actually host itself, it should be fine. The one thing I am curious about, do they actually ask anywhere in here, the Q&A, is it possible to go to the deep desert from your private server? Or how does that work?
What they say about the private server is literally you hosting
the Haga Basin.
Everything.
But even deep desert?
No, everything.
So you even host your own deep desert. That's a lot of hosting. That's a lot of... Like, every instance is hosted? That's a lot of instances to be running at the same time.
Well, they only get run when people are in it, Gibbs.
Yeah, true. ZB RAM, can I run this? Oh, go ahead.
Why is self-hosting more complicated than in Conan Exiles? Because Dune Awakening runs a larger, more complex world. Instead of a single server, it uses multiple maps that start and stop as needed, plus a database that's too blurry on Discord to keep track of all player and world data. So literally, they couldn't do self-hosting because it has to run like multiple different instances and servers, and it was too complex. And now they're making it so you can.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so hardware limitations will determine that. Now, I've got a pretty decent rig, but we might need like a dedicated server hosting PC.
Yeah, because look at the minimum requirements for the initial phase of hosting.
20 gigabytes of RAM. Yep. I mean, I run circles around that, so that's not a problem.
100 gigs of storage, Intel i5 or AMD Ryzen 5.
Not an issue for
SSD
Kib.
required.
Now, the question is, that says on hardware like that, you can safely run 4 players. I have better hardware than this. So how many people can I handle? How many little chat bitches? Big thinky.
All of them.
So you're going to need more than that. Also, Kibs, Windows 10 64-bit Pro with Hyper-V required.
Yeah, what about it?
You don't have Windows 10.
Champa, that's the minimum requirements, you goober. That's not how that works, Champa. That's minimum requirements.
Yeah, which means you have 11, which is less optimized than 10.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't. Champa, big baby. Can't wait to strafe worms with the boys. You don't strafe the worms strafe you, as we found out. As we found. Like,
Also, I've decided, Metallic Chair, we're doing your first Trusted War game tomorrow.
Fuck. What about Jagerrance? When's he doing his? He's like, what? Just looks up from the bucket as Chumpa's little friends reach down to grab him.
From Metallic Chair to
Like, no.
Metallic Wheelchair.
I can have them play against each other.
I can have them play against each other.
The blind leading the blind.
But yeah, so basically, and to go back into the game, so the Dune Part 3 movie trailer was announced. Now, I don't know whether the movie will be shit or not. And honestly, if it's shit, well, whatever. I don't care. But the one bit of good news is, well, I'll be annoyed, actually. I do care a little bit, actually, now I think about it.
You going to play it for Chatfish?
No, I'm not going to play the trailer because Warner Brothers is going to slap me with a thing. Like, that's always how this works. They'll fucking DMCA me or something by accident. And then I'll have to fight it for a month. And I don't feel like jumping through hoops today or for a month. And why do I say a month? It's because you literally have to sit there for a month for somebody over there to respond or not. Because YouTube gives them 30 days to respond. Well, you only have like a day. Well, oh, it's not fair, is it? But such is life. But yeah, so the reason why this is important. So a new Dune movie is coming out. What does that mean and why does that matter for this game? That matters entirely due to the fact that for this game, that means, chat, that because it's a new movie, there's going to be incentivized interest in the Dune IP again. And because there'll be more interest in the Dune IP, what does that mean? It means that there's going to probably be an expansion with the game to accompany that. And basically, they're going to be adding more stuff to the game. And that just means they're going to get more stuff. I do like that they actually have a dedicated fan art section. That's kind of cute. Shows that they get. What the fuck? All right, that's kind of a cool base, not gonna lie. They just made a mech out of it.
The people who make mechs from their building constructions.
As a special level of autism.
That is a special level of autism.
Some crazy ones in Valheim.
They're sometimes really cool, but yeah.
Oh, he dead.
He is dead. You're gonna lose all your gear. Well, goodbye, dude. Goodbye.
I got a tooth dagger.
Well,
as he's
it can be used one time.
But yeah, this game was actually a lot of fun, so I'm glad that they're not giving up on it and that they've actually stuck around with the community and actually listened to feedback. So basically, what we learned from this
I'm actually very excited for this update.
Yes, because I was kind of heartbroken that we had to turn away from this game because it was one of my favorite games. And I'll be real, it's one of my favorite survival crafting games we've ever found. And when we had to turn away from this game because of all the mismanagement, what it was, like the lack of identity, the lack of any sort of plan afterwards, felt like they didn't have a plan. Like the game was very much an accidental success. But it seems like they took time and they've been listening, and that all the patches and stuff have been basically building this game into what it should have been. And it seems like they're fully in tune with people now. And if that's how they're going to be going forward, then they have my support, and I will be coming back to play the game
Ultimately, this entire post of them is effectively saying, to me, comes off as them basically saying, okay, we've realized that what we want with the game and what the players actually want are different, and we're going to listen to the players.
Yes, I mean that's
Maybe-
more or less what they said in another post too. It's like we realized that our
Yeah, but this is
vision.
them confirming that.
Yep, they realized that the vision they had for the game wasn't in line with what the game they had made and what the people who played the game wanted. Because there were people there that did want a PvP focus, like that's fine, right? But I think there's compromises with the PvP thing. I think the PvP thing, like doing this like Deep Desert thing right now, is a great band-aid for now. But I think they need to readdress the PvP thing by making a dedicated battleground system. Because a dedicated battleground system would allow for actual PvP battles to take place, like in a normal instance. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And I do love the idea of the private server, because it could be really cool chat, because we could break the bucket into two communities, where we get some Chatfish play Atreides, some Chatfish play Harkonnen, and we can have like our own scripted like battles and stuff. That could be fun.
It'd be the bucket versus the anti-bucket.
The anti-bucket.
Yeah.
The Chatfish Wars.
I want to know. There's literally that
The
Marvel
cheek clappers versus
no, it was
the
DC. So
cheek
DC
spankers.
created a character called the Monitor. It's very powerful and bullshit like that, right? So we needed a villain version of that. The Anti-Monitor.
Draco says PvP people tend to be very vocal, even if they are a minority. That's true. That's because PvP players feel they're more social. Generally, they're much more open to being social and more relaxed. Hence why they'll even like smack talk a lot more in public versus your PvE player, who's a lot calmer and nicer because they don't really open up to you until you get to know them a bit more. Unless you're some guy named Goku in World of Warcraft and you're just going to tell your entire life story to some guy you met on the internet, which I had that experience.
I mean, I know, like,
You met Goku?
no,
he met the Goku.
yeah,
Goku.
he was Canadian.
I
didn't
like
know?
PvP and PvE, but if you're doing PvP, you have to specifically set the game up from the ground up to work with PvP, and you're going to turn a lot of people off by mixing the two. The way Dune Awakening was handling it wasn't very good. Because they essentially were running away anyone who wasn't like for PvP. Like I loved doing the dogfights and stuff in the Deep Desert, but I also get why people hated it, right?
Yeah, the dogfights are fun. And basically how it works now is actually really cool, because now when we want to go fight, there's like a PvP Deep Desert where we can just go fight. And then we can resource farm on the other area. And then when we want to do like big air fights, we can go in and we're here to do a big air battle. And that's what we're here to do. So everything we're bringing, we're ready to lose. At least I love the idea of that, at least.
But yeah, hopefully they learn from their mistakes. I mean, they're just repeating the same mistakes they made with Conan and reality.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Hopefully they actually learn from them this time.
Conan Exiles had the same issue. Now there are PvP servers in Conan Exiles, but a lot of Conan Exiles, at least from what I remember, it's a little harder because it wasn't very MMO-y. It was a bit different. It was like localized servers, right? And then those servers would set up the rules, so it was more individualistic that way. But the thing with that is that it felt like more often than not, most servers leaned on the side of being more PvE orientated, adverse to the PvP ones. Most people just wanted to chill and, build settlements and get sex slaves, and that's just what they wanted to do.
He has likes to sex.
I have breaking news for Twitter.
What's that?
They've rolled out translation for Turkish.
Oh,
good. Another European country.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
I like to imagine that
over,
YouTube's
chat bros.
algorithm reads that and then boosts us like 10,000% each time. It's like,
Twitter
"Well,
is
this
now
Allah
belongs to
Akbar.
Turkey.
Chatfish, we're Islamic. We have to be promoted
Jihadi
now."
cyberbots. Jihadi cyberbots.
That's dumb. No, not
Turkish.
Frederick's mad. Quit malding up there, Swede boy. He's like, no, Swede.
I know if I said that, a European's going to poke their head up and go, no.
No. European Chatfish. They come in
You
many
brought the
different
bait.
flavors. They come in many different flavors. But yeah. So this is good news about Dune Awakening. Probably going to get
You
back.
didn't rate it up though, Gibbs.
Oh my god. I mean, I guess. Like, most people seem to be happy with it. Though there is going to be some schisming, because the PvP crowd that are still clinging on to, like, wanting the game to be forcefully PvP are going to be
The
very
PvP
mad.
crowd wants it to be PvP because they want to just.
They want to troll.
A lot of them want to just grief people.
Yes. I mean, after playing the PvP and listening to the PvP people talk, at least in our
Yeah,
server,
that's what I'm basing it off of.
they just wanted to make people's times miserable. Their
entire group, whose entire purpose, their entire set public goal, they literally stated, they wanted to drive people away from the game. They wanted to make the game hell for people, so the game would lose players.
The Atreides players on our siege were so ridiculous.
Oh my god! I don't know if they were bad in other sieges, but worlds, but because they were the deep desert, they weren't from our siege. But the world, oh my god, they were
whatever the overall server
fucking
was.
rancid. Like, it was insane. Like, the Atreides players were so bad that other Atreides players would complain to Harco players about it. They'd be like, guys, like, we have the worst players, and it's like, jeez. I mean, we had bad ones.
Meanwhile,
too.
the Harkonnen players were like the only ones who weren't immediately ganking everyone.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
It was the funniest shit. Now, Atreides are the good guys in the setting, so everyone's gonna flock to that. So that's kind of why you got.
They also aesthetically are nice. Harkonnens are a little.
How dare you? The
Harkonnens look awesome. Like, I honestly, I think they have the best looking Thopters.
Yeah, you're talking about the vehicles. I'm talking about their armor, Gibbs, which it's like.
The armor's great.
It's fetishy. It's what it is.
It's great. Shut your damn mouth.
Yeah, shut your whore mouth.
Shut your whore mouth, you fucking Ixian.
You little Atreides simp.
Start slapping him. He's like,
But it's very difficult to do combined PvP and PvE content in a game. No game gets 100% perfect. Especially when you try to build your game to be a quasi MMO without making it really an MMO. And that's kind of the problem Dune Awakening ran into.
Yeah, it was like, we're an MMO, but we're also not an MMO.
To answer L-Dog,
yeah, hence that they were
L-Dog says
about that.
The PvPers didn't engage in PvP as the devs wanted to. Tough luck, it's getting taken away. Actually, that's not entirely true. The way the game worked in the Deep Desert was exactly how it was supposed to. It was supposed to be a free-for-all. But the issue is that nobody liked that.
It also can't be a free-for-all. You literally can't free-for-all Spice Harvest.
Yeah, it just doesn't really work.
You have to work together. The only person I know who've done that was Polaris, who would alternate between a carry-all and the Harvester because he's a fucking madman.
True, he's nuts. But yeah, so like, the one thing they gotta do is if you want to have PvP, you need to actually add PvP battlegrounds for us to actually go fight on. Because there's one thing in the game, if you actually go to the Atreides village, you can actually find larger tanks. Because we have the buggy, we have the trike, and we have the little silly wheel truck thing that's absolutely retarded looking. And then
It's beautiful. You shut your mouth.
And those are our ground vehicles, right? And there's another ground vehicle in the game besides the Harvester. The Harvester's the other big one, but the other ground vehicle is the huge tank thing. You can find it in the Atreides city of Arakeen. They're parked out inside the front side of the building. But what's weird is that they never made them into the game yet. Because I think they're supposed to be at some point. But the issue was with how the Deep Desert worked is they made no sense. Like, what the fuck? I'm going to have to, like, bring a carry-all to bring this large tank to drop the tank, while then having the carry-all be getting blasted out of the sky? Ooh, it doesn't sound like a good idea.
That's a big worm.
Yeah. But yeah, Dune Awakening is probably one of my favorite survival crafting games. I love this game to death.
It's got an absolute solid 30 hours.
60. It took me 60 hours before we were in the Deep Desert, because we mapped it. At least, but that's also because we were engaging all the quests and stuff. Once we did, like, Deep Desert and we started getting into the PvP, it was about 60-hour ballpark for me. So, like, there was about that, which approximately means there's approximately 60 hours of single-player and PvE content. Now, that has increased because new chapters have been released. There's more quests and missions now. And there's also the Lost Harvest DLC, which shouldn't have been a DLC, because it adds, like, quest
I'm pretty sure
line to the game.
They did address that they're like, upcoming DLC is going to be purely cosmetic. Didn't they say that?
Yes. because they need, anytime there's quests to the game, they should be added for everybody. Lost Harvest added quests that the initial quests kind of start slow, but like the end was actually really cool, and it actually made me mad because like, what the fuck? You put thinking machines into this game and you made it a fucking DLC? Like, that's retarded. Everybody wants to like do the quest with the thinking machines. It's like one of the coolest things in the setting. And you told me that thinking machines are DLC? It's like, it reminded
Especially
me of like, oh,
after
it's
you have
annoying.
that badass opening. Like, come on now.
It's just annoying. Because what Lost Harvest is alluding to is that there are thinking machines buried in ancient facilities on Arrakis. And so theoretically, the thinking machines from the old empire that were stranded here never rose up because they never left their installations. Which means that theoretically speaking, in Dune Awakening's lore, there might be more thinking machine threats buried deep within the sands that we have yet to see from the old empire, which would be a really cool thing. Bring giant tank to deep desert. Sure, Worm will be happy. Worm's like, snack.
Spicy. As it's shooting, as it's trying to get eaten.
Spice. Is it even possible to scare the worms away with weapons fire? I've never seen
No.
that work. To be honest, when I see a worm, I run. Like, I don't shoot at worm.
The only thing you can do as far as like quote unquote distractions is the thumpers.
Yeah, thumpers.
But that's very hit or miss.
Thumpers. We have to check if they fixed the worm thing. Because for a while, initially the worms had to traverse to travel places. But
They
then
were actual entities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then they made a patch which made worms teleport to random locations, which was lame. Because how it used to work in the beta was that the worms would traverse from location to location, so they had patterns. So you could actually see the worms and where they were. But people didn't like that because, like, well, they don't get to see worm because worm never go this way. And so what they did is they made worm just teleport to you if you move on the sand too much. And so it finds you no matter what, which is stupid. What I think they should do is just have like a radius thing where the longer you are generating noise on the sand, the greater that radius becomes slowly over time, and then the worm eventually finds you or something. Would be one way to handle that. It's not a perfect solution, mind you.
Need to make the assault ornithopter have multi-seater, 2 gunners, and the pilot. I mean, multiple people can get in; they just don't do anything.
Yep, they're just in because the attack thopter can basically be a ride for troops to be deployed from. Attack thopters are basically troop transports, but there's no point using them because of the backup vehicle tool. Unless they've changed a lot of mechanics about this game. Actually, we might need to check.
Sorry.
What? Go ahead. Kitty.
I'm sorry, I was sneezing. I was sneezing.
Kitty. It's like, but yeah, I'm hopeful that Dune Awakening will get a second chance at life because the new movie will bring interest back into the game. And they'll probably do a big expansion to probably accompany it if I had to guess. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for games salvaging their reputation and pulling back.
More good games.
Like No Man's Sky.
No, that's still bad.
It's a subjective thing.
But it has Pokemon battling in it now, Mom.
Yeah, the game doesn't know what the fuck it wants to be.
See, my criticism for No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky is a game that's recovered its reputation. Now, to give credit where credit is due, they didn't just abandon the game, right? Good job. You didn't just ditch the project. You kept adding stuff. My only issue with No Man's Sky really boils into is when I tried it last time, and bear in mind, it was quite a while ago, and I only have 6.9 hours, so I'm going to highlight that so you guys know the truth, because you should know. But last time I tried it, because I tried it initially on launch for like an hour, and I just didn't like it. And then I tried it again later, and I tried it for multiple hours, and I just couldn't get into it. Because when people started telling me about the game, they made me lose interest in it. Because basically what people told me is that they'll add new stuff like vehicles and base building and like dreadnoughts and fleets and stuff. I'm like, oh, so cool. But it's like, do they continue to give support to those items? No. They'll release that thing and then they never release anything again. They release the dreadnought thing and then they don't do that again. And then now they add Pokemon.
Yeah, a lot of the updates are very disjointed. They don't really do anything like interact with each other.
And that what annoys me about that is like, okay, well, that's good that you're not abandoning the game, but these systems, you're basically making a huge lake That's very shallow. When I would rather there be fewer systems that have more depth to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like more
Yeah.
meat. But that might just be a subjective thing. I probably will try this game again in the future because I do want to give it another shot. Well, probably at some point.
Now, one thing I will give them is basically, as far as I'm aware, every update has been free. They haven't charged a dime for it.
Yes, that deserves praise. So that is true.
I just wish that there were more of the modules in the game as far as like the updates interacted with each other. But that just comes down that, and I don't like it's like space flight. It just doesn't feel good to me.
It's very arcadey.
But that's a subjective thing.
It's an arcadey game. It's an arcade game.
It being arcadey isn't the problem. I don't know how to describe. I don't have the words to describe it. It feels wrong.
Did they add field of view yet to the game?
No. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't remember.
Because like that was the other problem I had is I kept getting nauseous from playing it. Because the field of view is
the field of view was like
40.
It was so bad.
It's like my face is smacked up against my monitor, and I'm like, I remember leaning back while playing the game, going like, "Oh my god, I can't!" Like, oh.
And I love space games and flying games and all that, and I did not like my time.
I know.
It has field of view now. All right, it's a playable game now. At least it's
playable. Literally, game of the decade.
Game of the gets field of view. Game of the century.
You got the You Tried award.
Just eclipses every other game. As like you just see games like Nier Automata, fucking like Fallout New Vegas, and all that just fade into the background. Like,
I am interested in their game that they're releasing. What the hell is it? Start No Fire?
Start No Fire, some sort of fantasy game.
Yeah, I am interested in that to see where that goes.
Or Light No Fire.
Or Light No Fire, yeah.
Yeah, because I also, too, am interested. Because this might be where they learn a lot from their lessons. And I think them not having, like, multiple planets means they're going to have to invest in a world so that the world's going to have more depth to it. I am interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to wait until I find out more. I don't want to be a bunny, though, because that's weird. Because it's very much classical fantasy where you could just be straight up animals. A multiplayer Earth. It sounds interesting. And using their large world generation system might be cool. I just hope there's a lot to do here with like in different towns, villages, and like there's an ecosystem of like the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No Man's Meadow, says Blake.
No Man's Meadow.
God damn it. Chatfish, no.
Kid will have to play as a bunny person. Little bunny guy.
Little bunny
This
guy.
game really has no idea what it is.
Well, we don't know that yet. This is a vague trailer. We don't know anything about it.
You got flying mounts. That's what's important.
It looks like fantasy. Someone built a building there. There's a floating sky island over there that somebody built on. Part of a set piece. Because we don't know Champa. It might be really cool, Champa.
It's all the things.
Champa's like, it might, I mean, listen, I like to think that they might have learned from No Man's Sky. Crimson Desert 2, just kills myself.
I can't wait to see a spaceship in the sky because it's actually in the same universe.
Whoa.
That's fine as long as it's a cute little reference or something, and they don't just do something silly. I'm not gonna blow a gasket, Champa. Champa, you're such a little doomer. You're like a little doomer. Can't have any optimism with you. Always doom and gloom. Always
You know me, Jan.
He's gonna doom.
No. He's blackpilling on us. Like, at least, I like to give things a chance before they crush my balls, right?
Sin.
You know? Like, just a moment. And like, oh, my balls are crushed. And then it's over. And I'm like, oh.
Yinlis says it needs wyverns.
Okay, if it has wyverns, uninstall.
It literally does, Kip. They're flying.
No.
Click the second screenshot
I'm
right there.
not gonna look at it.
Click the second screenshot.
No, it panned.
What's that, Tibbs?
Fuck, it's a
What's
wyvern. Oh my god, I forgot that Yinglis is retarded. Oh my god,
He says it
Yinglis.
needs wyverns. It's
Yinglis,
like, do you even know what a
you need to
wyvern
be
is,
here.
Yinglis?
The new rules for stream is Yinglis, you need to be in stream every 5 minutes. Okay, I need to look over in chat and see your stupid little chatfish icon.
Sir Ian has become a bubble cultist.
Thank you for the support. Very generous.
Hold on, Yinglis. Do you even know what a wyvern is? I'm questioning this at this point.
He might not. He's a little retarded. Like he might actually think wyverns are dragons or some shit.
Well,
no,
they are.
like look at him. Look at him, chat.
Dragons have arms.
Look at
Wyverns
Yinglis. Do you see him in
No,
chat?
that's D&D thing.
Like look, chat. Look at him. He's next to you. Like what are you gonna do about it, chat? Chat, are you gonna attack him? Chat, what are
Yes,
you doing?
He says.
Yeah. Okay, let me help you because that's not what he sounds like in real life. Yes.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
He's got a speech impediment, and we're gonna make fun of you more because we're sick bastards. Because we're sick. He is Yingwit. Armless dragons is what they are, says Syrian. Damn. Wyverns are a type of dragon. Key Primic Pepe. Careful whose side you join. If you're on Yinglis's side and he's next to you, like.
Yeah, then he'll
Trappers
challenge
want
you
to
to
be on the
call.
right side of history, wouldn't they?
Oh my god.
What if Chatfish are history itself?
All right, let's get through the thing I wanted to talk about as well today before I forget. It's kind of an icky subject, but it's a subject I think I should talk about with you guys because I feel like it's like a public safety announcement. Nothing bad happened to me, by the way. If anybody's like, "Ooh," it's fine. But
His legs were blown off.
basically,
No!
I've been seeing stuff on the Twitter, lots of drama and cringe ass shit going around the various communities. Not even going to name them because I don't care about them. But the reason why I wanted to talk about or bring this up, chat, is that the general rule of thumb when it comes to like online discourse or arguing or stuff like that is don't argue, don't engage, don't waste your time. Like if you see people arguing on Twitter or whatever, just kind of ignore it. Unless you're doing something to get something out of it, right? Like engagement, if you're trying to get like followers or whatever, like post your spicy shit post or shit take or whatever, because I do that all the time. I use Twitter to post shit takes or my stupid ass opinions just to see if people share those opinions and if they follow me, to see if they'll become a viewer here.
And if they'll follow me.
Yeah, because my goal is to actually trick them into becoming a chatfish. And that's had mixed results. Like, I don't know if I've actually gained anybody from doing that. And so probably not really. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I saw some chatfishes arguing, and they're just like they're arguing on some thread somewhere, and because I could tell because they have chatfish profiles, right? And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, okay, if you're on Twitter or you're on a social media thing and you argue, say your piece, and then just click a button that says mute conversation. Don't bother going back and forth because all you're doing is unless you like wasting your time, right? Because like some of those things like go on for like hours if you look at the timestamps, and it's like, okay, dude, like it's very obvious neither of you are gonna concede your points. None of you are gonna agree. Just move on. Just move on. I learned this too when I was younger because I used to like interact with social media a lot more, and I used to be more invested into arguments and stuff because I would try to like defend my friends when I thought they were being, illegitimately attacked for like wrong reasons or whatever. But like the reality is that you're not going to change someone's opinion. And even if you change someone's opinion, all you're going to like, they're probably going to reset in like a day because that happens, or they were never going to watch or do something anyways. So just don't waste your time. Just don't bother with it. I use Twitter to mostly look at art and stuff. And I only bring it up because there was some drama going on with like a certain Yub Nub community. And I'll be real, who gives a rat's ass? Like they're all rancid. Never trust YouTubers unless you know them. Like that's something you guys got to also remember. Never trust people. Just because I talk over a microphone. Have you guys actually talked to me in Discord? No, most of you don't.
Never trust YouTubers? All right.
Yeah, pretty much though. But no, in a serious sense, don't. Like, even me, right? Like, trust is earned. Like, you have to earn that. And that's why it's important to not just put people on pedestals. It's important not to just blindly believe shit you see, blah, blah, blah. He said, she said, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, that's why I also just don't interact with content creators anymore, because I'll be real. I got sick of it. I got sick of having dramas always happen because some idiot wouldn't listen to my advice of like, hey, maybe, guys, hear me out. Maybe we have a trial period before we let some random schmuck content creator into our friend circle. Maybe we don't just trust everybody. Maybe we gatekeep. And you know what I was told? Shut up. Shut up. Don't talk. Don't talk about gatekeeping. Gatekeeping, we only preach about that. We don't practice it. And that's what basically led me to just burning out with those people. I'm like, nah, I don't care anymore. Like, if we're not actually going to practice what we preach, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, look, the guy I warned you about stabbed you in the back for the 30th time. I told you. It just gets tiresome. I can only try to, like, I try to help my friends, right? But if somebody doesn't want to be helped and they refuse help, then at some point you just got to cut them loose and you got to go like, it's not my problem anymore. What happens next is on you. I've done all I can do. And as somebody who's lost friends and gained friends over the time of many years and been on YouTube for a long time and longer than most people have ever been on it, people often confide and get advice from Kib because Kib is an old god. Guard!
Kib is a god
old
gamer.
guard is what I meant to
Kib,
say.
you reminded
Mispronounced
me.
word there.
This talk of giving people trial periods. You remind me of a thing you did that flies in the face of that.
I always give trial periods, even with artists.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
One time you didn't.
You know, we gave you a trial period too, Chubby.
You did, but one time you didn't in a Fallout 76 stream.
What the fuck was that liquid noise? That was very weird.
I don't know.
It sounded like liquid, like landing on my desk. Looking at the sea.
I think
That was a truth bomb landing.
I got
The
scared.
truth bomb is a.
It's not the truth bomb. So back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, that never happened. I don't even know. Fallout 76, like what? I don't remember. I've made mistakes.
You encountered a random guy.
Oh yeah,
and
and he
then
was
you
on
brought him onto Discord and brought him into VC immediately.
Yeah, he was super annoying. Holy shit. Was that the one thing?
Just immediately.
Yeah, because like that's like fucking. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I fucked up too.
You
with
got
that one.
yelled at about that one.
Yeah, I did. You all give me shit for like a good while, but that's to be fair, and I deserved it, right? Because I broke my own
The
rule.
point being,
and fucked
everyone
up.
can make mistakes, Chatfish.
Even Kips. I know. The
Actually,
infallible YouTuber himself,
He's
Kib.
not infallible, but he is inflatable.
the inflatable YouTuber Kibs.
But yes, I've learned.
See, look, he can change his shape at will.
Yeah, shut up, whatever. So the big thing is that, yeah, like that's another good point, unfortunately. But yeah, don't just bring random people on. Like that's something I sometimes have to be reminded of because I get too trusting and I do that thing where I'm like, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt and believe in people, and it's a mistake. It's a mistake because trust is earned, not really given. It was like that other guy. Because we had somebody way back before you guys were around, and very early in my Yub career, we did like a World of Warcraft thing, and there was this guy who had this illness where he wasn't gonna live very long, and I felt bad for him, and he had like a bag for like his feces or whatever, or pee or whatever, and I'm like, oh no, that's so sad. Like I feel so bad, but then randomly out of the blue, one of the women in our community, because believe it or not, there are women. I know it's crazy. But they came on.
There's like 3.
And the guy wigged out like nobody's business, started attacking them over and over and over again. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, stop. What are you doing? Like, why are you like freaking out? Like, relax. And he just like hated women. And I had never, ever. Like we joke about it, right? Because like we joke
He
about
was an actual chud.
like we
An
joke
actual
about it
chud.
because I honestly don't think it's real. But I met somebody who genuinely hated women, not like jokingly, but like vehemently. I think he had a phobia of them or something, and I don't think he was like. I felt kind of bad for him because it felt like he couldn't control himself. And I had to explain to the lady, I was like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I didn't think he would do that.
Don't worry, milady.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Milady.
That'd be
No,
cringe.
Mama. He
Good
didn't do
lady.
that. He said, "Don't worry, princess."
Her boyfriend took care of that issue. So,
Princess.
but yeah, it was one of those
Or
things
did
where it
he
was
use
just awkward.
kitten?
It was very awkward. It was the first time I'd ever been in a situation where I had first time seen somebody who didn't like somebody because of like what they were born as. Because yeah, I've met people that might not like a certain race or group of people or whatever, and I've met people like that before. But I've never met somebody who's actually so mad that they freak out. Happened once in my entire life, and that was the incident. Never has it happened ever before or since then. It was just the weirdest point in my entire life when that happened. Because I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke at first. I was like, what? No, it's a weird, awkward joke,
No,
right?
people like this don't exist, do they?
No, people
Yes.
wouldn't say that. That's just so cringe. Why would you behave that way? It's my And it's like, no. And it's like, oh, it was cringe. It was really cringe. Keep saw an actual misogynist? Yeah, one in my entire life. I actually met one. Crazy.
Real.
Honestly, you're far more likely to encounter misandrous than you are
Yes,
misogynist,
I've
to be
met
honest.
more misandrists than I have met misogynists. That was the first
Same.
misogynist I've met. Hans has dealt with many misandrists at one of the places he worked at with hated men haters. I've met a couple who just hate men. That's more common, but I had never seen a misogynist in my entire life until that day. And I haven't seen one since, but it was crazy. Because I was like, wow, they are real. Holy shit. It's like
misogynist exists.
it's like seeing a fairy in the woods, you know? You just don't expect it to be real.
Oh, I'm sure he was a fairy.
I'm sure he was a fairy.
Damn.
Man, that was
me.
You're a mean little Mormon.
I'm allowed to
Yes,
say it.
you
I
are,
had
you
family
mean little
members who
Mormon.
were. It's fine.
My family members who were.
You're a mean little.
Yeah, I have a very strange and diverse family. Don't worry about it.
Are you diverse yourself?
I'm a
No.
misogynist.
Are you
This is
mixed race?
Jetfish. But yeah,
No.
the reason why I bring this up
No.
is because a lot of the dramas I see happening online are usually because people A, don't communicate, and B, they're talking to YouTubers. And honestly, 90% of YouTubers, like the majority of YouTubers from my interactions online, have always been they want to
Scum.
use you, they're going to lie to you, and they're going to manipulate you. And they don't care about you, and they're here to use you for something as a stepping stone. There's one person who used my friend group of Yubnubbers as a stepping stone, and I warned them about them. And something happened recently in the news where they're finally getting their comeuppance. And I don't care either way. They weren't a nice person. But the reality is that the point of what I'm trying to say is try to just not trust people right away. Like, and I know I fuck up that rule too, chat, but like, just patience. Like a facade, when somebody's keeping a facade, they can only do it for like a couple months. And usually the facade begins to crack, the mask begins to slip. And if they're a true psycho or sociopath, that mask may never slip. That's something you're just going to have to recognize by how they treat people. Like, at any point, did that person ever care about you? Did that person lie about you? Like, that's what you got to ask yourself. Like, because a long time ago, this happened where a bunch of my alleged friends, content creator wise, would go around and they would say that I was trans. And I'm not. And I asked them, hey, please don't do that. I don't appreciate that. Because the issue is, I know you think it's funny, but like people stopped talking to me and started blocking me over it. And like, I didn't know what was happening at first. And then I found out that people genuinely started believing that. And so people don't take me seriously or don't communicate with me because they think I'm that. And I'm not. And it started doing irreparable damage to basically me trying to talk to people and communicate with people. And I asked them to stop and they didn't. And they kept doing it again and again and again. When I asked them to stop, they're like, no, I'm not gonna. And I'm like, okay. Like, there's nothing I can do because you're just gonna keep doing it. And all I can say when people come here is like, please don't say that. Don't say. Like, I don't want doors to close on me because somebody's saying stuff like that. Because I want to be making games. I want to get involved in the creative industry. And I want to make games. And I want to do stuff. And I can't do that if people close doors on me before I even get a chance to talk to them. And so what I decided to do is I just removed them from my life and just was like, I'm done with you. And so I don't interact with them as much, and I don't, unless they have something of value to offer me, I'm not going to deal with them. Because the reality is that people that use you like that, you can't trust people like that. Like, the real eye-opener for me was, I think, when our channel went down because Palu made a mistake, and it was an accident. He drew an aerial on a thumbnail, and it got us in trouble, right? And I told him not to do that, but it was my fault because I didn't double check the thumbnail, right? I should have double checked the thumbnail, but I didn't. I just assumed it was good and I slapped it on and then only realized later and I got in trouble. And so that's one of the things that happened. But yeah, so that was really agitating when that happened. But I remember when that happened, I remember no one helped us. Like, I remember the dev team going like, all right, what are we going to do? I'm like, don't worry. I'll reach out to my friends and ask for help because they'll help me because I've been there for every time when something bad happens to them. They'll come and help us out. They'll just tell people where we are. And they didn't. They didn't do anything. And it was an eye-opener for me because I was like, I can't believe that only of all, like some did. I'm not going to name names, but I'm just going to say, like, the people who did, I didn't expect to. Like, I didn't expect... The one thing I will say is the people who helped, I'll name them, or at least one of them. The one I didn't expect was a guy by the name of Razorfist, who came out of nowhere and actually helped me. And I was like, I can't believe this guy, who I've met once in my entire life, came to help me in my hour of need, while everybody else I thought would, didn't. And I was like, holy shit, it was like an eye-opener for me, because I was like, I can't believe it. They're all fair weather friends. They won't be there when push comes to shove. Like, I was there for them, but they won't be there for me. And it kind of like broke me a little on the inside because like I got really sad. Like, I was like, I can't believe that I'm alone when it comes to like being a content creator. That like when push comes to shove, they won't be there to help. And the people who will, well, they're good people and they'll show themselves in their own way, I guess. But like, it was one of those things. It was an eye-opener moment because I just didn't expect that to happen. It just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay. And that's why when the recent Twitter controversy crap is going on about some YouTube drama between other YouTubers, and there's a bunch of dramas, who cares, right? Who cares about that shit? Don't waste your time, chat. But the big thing I wanted to let you guys know is just remember who your friends are and when they support you, and appreciate them. Show appreciation for that, because it's a big deal when somebody actually helps you when nobody else will, right? Because it was a matter of, will I have enough money to pay rent? That was the question. Will I be able to pay Salah? Will I be able to pay Robin? These people who rely on me to pay them, and if I can't do my job, and the bare fucking minimum of me is to pay these guys, and if I can't do that, I have failed them. I fucked up and I let them down. And like, that's a scary thought, you know? Like, I have to make those goals. They have to get that money, because if I fuck that up, I fuck them over. And I have to do that bare minimum. That's my bare minimum. We can't fall below that, because if we fall below that, we failed them. And what good is a boss who can't even keep his own boys and gals fed? Worthless. So that's like the bare fucking minimum. Yeah, it's like that scene, like, I have failed you, I must pay for my sins. Stabs his little hand.
And go, I'm gonna punish you for giving me a boner.
I'm gonna punish you for giving me a boner.
I mean, Squealy, you'd understand what Kibbs does when that happens.
I want to know, by the way, the bare minimum of would it would take to actually help Kib in that situation?
Just a notification, but it doesn't matter.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter anymore.
Literally just a wee treat.
The focus isn't on me, because it's actually more about Chatfishes. This is just my experience with it, and that's what I'm trying to tell chat, is that it's incredibly important, because I do care about all of you guys, that you make sure you look after yourself, right? Like, don't get into huge arguments online, because I see some of you do that, and if you're getting enjoyment out of it, you know, I'm not going to stop you. All right, good for you. Have fun, right? But like, I don't want you guys putting yourself in a bad mood, because it looks like some of you guys, when you do that, it looks like you're in a sour mood afterwards. And and I talk to you guys in Discord sometimes, and it feels like you're in a bad mood. So like if things are going bad, just don't double down and get into fights with nothing like that. And like just kind of take it easy. Like say your piece and then kind of move on. And when it comes to like big dramas and stuff like that, I think it's best, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, to just not get involved. Because the reality is that never trust a yub nubber. One yub nubber will say blah, 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 and the other one will say blah, blah, blah. But do you know which one's telling the truth? Like, you don't. And so when I see that discourse happening on the tweeters, I just can't help but think that it's kind of just not worth getting involved in.
It's always just he said,
because
she
it's
said.
he said, she said, and he and she don't give two shits about you. So you going to defend he or she is completely pointless, because he and she wouldn't come to help you if you were in trouble. They'd let you rot. That's one thing I'd let you rot. Like, that's why it's just like one of the things, like, give time to those who deserve it and those who earn it. But those who don't deserve an iota of your time. Your time is precious and valuable. I'm grateful you guys give me the time of day to even hang out with me on stream. It makes the world over to me. In fact, not only that, but it keeps me alive, literally. So, like, it means everything. But at the same time, if somebody treats you like crap, don't be shy and just packing your bags and going to where you need to be happy. Do what you have to be happy, because you guys deserve better. You deserve to be treated well. And when people treat you poorly, they don't deserve you. That would go for me too. If I degenerate and become some fucking out of touch loser, if I become successful, abandon me, because I would deserve it at that point, because I have lost your trust. That's how the world should be, right? We don't owe anyone anything. And neither do you. You don't owe me nothing. I owe you the world. And that's the relation that we have with each other, right? As a content creator, we owe you a tremendous amount of stuff. We owe you more than the world. And that's when I see arrogance and like people lashing out and attacking their own fans and stuff. I'm just like, how arrogant. Like, you need them. Without them, you are nothing. You're just a schmuck. Just like I'm a schmuck. We can't exist without the chatfishes. Chatfishes can swim away, and then it make me sad. But yeah, just don't waste your time and don't feel bad. And I'm saying that, and that this is sort of aimed at a couple of chatfishes specifically who I know are going through a tough spot. But I also noticed that you guys argue, but I don't want to put pressure and like name anybody, but just like, don't get super bent out of shape. Don't fucking fight too much online, because all you're going to do is make yourself feel worse. And I know, because I did that too. Like, you're just going to make yourself feel kind of crappy, and you deserve better. Just, decompress, but try to find a different way to decompress. One that's not going to make you feel worse at the end. Because trust me, arguing with people online for people who don't care about you to begin with, like against somebody who also doesn't care about you, isn't going to make you feel better. It's just going to make you feel worse. It's just going to... And your time is more precious than that. And believe me when I say this, your time is precious. Not just to yourself, but to others as well. We all want it. Fork it over. Okay, I couldn't help myself. But either way. Point over. But I think that's like my more or less PSA, because I saw Chatfish. He's getting muddled in the dramas that are happening. Now, I may look like a bit of a hypocrite in that regard, and I'll point it out too, because I too make shit posts on Twitter, but never argue about it. If you'll notice my posts, I make a shit post with my stupid ass opinion, and then I move on. Why? Because if I argue with everybody that goes into my little comment section or like chat section or whatever, replies, or whatever the fuck it's called there, and argue with people, like, I'm just gonna look stupid. If I have a dumb opinion already, it ain't gonna look good if I'm arguing with randos all the time, So there's no point getting combative or argumentative, because all you're gonna do is end up feeding the trolls. And that's the golden rule of being online. Don't become a lol cow and feed the troll chatfishies. You just need to be a fishy. They just gotta swim away. That's why you're chatfishes. See?
Become
clever.
A
Become a what?
A lolfishy.
A lolfishy? Damn.
Exactly.
The fuck is a lolfish? It's still
It's a fish you get lolls out of, kids.
Yinglis! That's where he is! I found him.
Found the lolfish.
You don't need to follow me on Twitter. I just say stupid stuff. I sometimes post stuff about the game, but my hope is that I'm going to switch my Twitter to be more... See, as time goes on, I kind of want to get away from any sort of like things like that. I need to become more dedicated to the game I'm producing and take on the role of just being Kib, game maker man. And that's all I matter for, because that's
John
all I
Kib,
am.
Creator of video games.
There are 2 things I do in life that matter. 1, I make Chatfishes smile. 2, I make money for dev team. That's it. Kib is useless outside those 2 things. Oh yeah, I guess Kib makes cooking videos. Got to get back to that. They're pretty good. They're good recipes. Just like whip. But yeah, that was the PSA I wanted to talk about, because I had some game theories conversations I wanted to have, discussing my philosophy and ideas on games, but I wanted to save this for later because I figured this was more relevant, because it was more topical, because of what was happening. But yeah. Lol kelp. Lol kelp? Oh my god, that's funny. Good job, Sandy. I'll give you a cookie for that. My Twitter is all pictures of Mary Rose. I'm not surprised. Yeah. I probably need to do what you're doing, Blake. Not in the sense of Mary Rose being on my timeline, but I need to just make it about art and everything. Because one thing I found that my own personal weakness is that I am actually hot-blooded. I get angry. And when I get angry, I act irrationally. Like an idiot. So that's why it's important to not have the hiccups. But to also just put yourself in an environment that's less likely to do that. Surround yourself with things that aren't going to make you be retarded.
I shall return.
No, get back here. Get back here now. All right. Does Chatfish have any other articles they'd like us to go over this week? You can post them in the Bickering Bunch discussion. You have a few seconds to do so. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. But yeah, all in all, I think the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is Dune Awakening, honestly. I really want to play that with you guys again, and I want to get as many of you to join us for that as possible. So that'd be great. I also want to figure out how big the servers are, because I would like it if we could all play together. Because I want to play with all of you guys, and I don't want to play with just like a handful of you and then like leave some of you out, because that's going to be a deal breaker for me if that is the case. I want all of you or none, because I'm picky like that. Chatfish must play together. You know what I mean?
But what if Chatfish have potato?
What do you mean?
What if they can't play because they have a potato?
Well, unfortunately, there's not much we can do to help on that. I haven't made it rich yet, so I can't just randomly buy my audience gaming PCs. Kind of living, just getting by producing stuff for the studio. Speaking of, let's look at some stuff that Chat funded.
Do the American thing and way outspend your ability to pay for it.
I try not to do that.
There you go.
I'm trying to stay in the black. Even if it's only a little in the black, it's still in the black. It's still in the black. Where is it? Oh my god, Sella. I cannot stream that, or Chatfish will strangle Kib. Actually, no. Chatfish won't strangle me. Chatfish will like that. But fucking Yubnubs will kill Kib. I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that the studio's working on, because I'm sure they'd be happy to know that Chatfishies like the stuff they make. Except for Sal. Sal, I can't show what you made because it's not safe. Not safe for work. Okay, that's funny. I'm going to show you this. I just find it funny, okay? I don't know if we're going to go with those designs. I think they're a little goofy. Carlos says, you're a really good concept artist. I know you're not here right now, but like, you keep up the good work, guy. Some good stuff. There we go. I think that's good enough. I could show you the song thing, but I'm going to let Robert wait, because Robert gets real bashful when I fucking show music ahead of schedule. He's more bashful than the other artists. So I'll just show some stuff. Indio did this, by the way. This is a sketch that he did of his own free volition that I thought was actually quite charming. I love when you guys do this, by the way. When you just draw stuff unprompted for our setting. Pretty cool. Oh my god, my fucking leg itches. There we go. But yeah, this is a cool picture that Indio drew. It's a sketch for the game. Well, not for the game. It's a sketch of 2 characters. You got Rorak and you got Celeste right there. Look at him. He just looks like a nice guy. What?
Stream ended, right?
No, we're still going.
No.
Okay.
Why? Was there something you need to talk about after stream?
No, it's fine.
Suspicious. Suspicious.
He's showing chat
Ibaka.
stuff. That's why I asked.
There
and I stepped
better
back.
not be any fucking crap I have to deal with. Chumpish.
Oh, there is.
I'm overworked, chat. This piece, you know what? I think we'll set this for the stretch goal for this week, chat. If we make the weekly and exceed it by
100?
I'm thinking India's quite far behind.
$4?
What? I don't know.
$4? Exceeded by $4?
I'm trying to make it so that we're in the black based on what I'm thinking. I mean, if it's just to finish it, it shouldn't be too long. Yeah, 100, because then India's going to end up eating that. But we'll have made the weekly.
100 over weekly, get what? This art piece, this fully done?
Yeah. We can turn the sketch into a real art piece.
Get sketch of Celeste.
It's a cool little sketch.
How do you spell Rorak again?
R-O-R-A-K. Rorak.
R-O-R-A-K?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a machine, doesn't it? Crazy. So let's see. What?
Yep.
Gotta
So
make
100
sure
over,
the-
chat. That's pretty easy. That's about a little over 600 away.
Yeah, that's actually a reasonable, really easy stretch goal, I think. Is the Evergreen stretch goal is dead now, right? No, you guys made it. Bino's working on the lingerie.
Now, two things quick.
What?
I need to step away for about half an hour and show. If we start Zomboid soon, we'll be several hours late.
Yeah, no, she told me.
Okay.
She told me. Show will be joining us for Project Zomboid today. Also, chat, it is open to Chatfish to join Project Zomboid as well. You are welcome to come play. I believe the unstable build is currently stable for multiplayer, right? Or should I just roll back? I don't know.
Well, we should
last
look
time
into
we
that.
played it like a week ago was okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
A couple
thinking.
bugs here and there.
Because it'll be Show's first time playing Project Zomboid, so I want to make sure she doesn't hate herself. Now, Indio's in charge of her. You gotta teach her how to play, Show. Or Indio, or whatever your name is. Whatever your name.
No, India was just complaining about being super tired and falling asleep.
He's showing sketches. I am. I do that. Because guess what? I'm going to show the Chatfish what they're funding. That's really what we're putting the money towards. So this is a really cool concept that Binsky's been working on for a while. And this is actually Binsky's first concept art, because I don't think he does concept art at all, actually. So it's actually really cool to see him do it. This is the honor guard for the Councillary. And they look pretty fucking cool. These guys are like, what, 9 feet tall or whatever? They're big boyish. Man. This is an investor
report.
I mean, kinda, but not really. But yeah, you get to see some of the progress. I can't show you everything because it'd be like spoilers, right? And that'd be lame. This guy, I wanted to show you this guy because I thought this guy was funny looking. I just think he looks absolutely silly. Look at that. That's
I don't know. Can you say he?
That's a man.
His legs still look derpy to me.
It just looks
They
so
should.
derp. Well, yeah, he's a fucking Rohirrim. They always look derpy. They're derpy little guys.
Well, the rest of it's derpy, but he just looks like he's got tiny little
He
legs
does.
half his size.
He's just a tiny little guy. The thing that really gets me, though, is that fucking goofy flume. Look at that shit. I hate it. I hate that. I genuinely think I hate that right there. But Carlos was just experimenting with decorations for like some of the armor, and I just figured I'd show it off because I thought this one was funny. Because sometimes we get some designs that are really wacko. And that one is kind of wacky out there. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Visor a bit too low. It's not human, so don't like the facial structure is a bit different. Very humanoid-esque. It's tiny. And this is a preview picture I'm going to show for the upcoming Echoes of the Second Age. Mostly because this thing is really turning out good. These are the panels for the actual videos. And there's like 40 of these damn things, or 30 of these damn things. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's like 1 million of them per episode, and I hate it. By the way, chat, as a thing we needed to discuss, these panels are incredibly hard to produce. And we can make more, and we can make them for every single episode, all 7 to 8 episodes in the season 1, if you guys think it's worth it. But we're only going to do that for the first 2 episodes, and then you guys are going to have to tell us if you want more panels. If you want more panels, and you like these panels, and you want to see them in the future episodes, and you would like that, then that's going to be just something we're going to make a note of, so that when we're raising money each week, that we are putting it towards this as well. If you guys don't like these things, or you don't think the panels are worth it, I think you'll like them. But it's a question of whether you think it's worth it or not. Then we're just going to remove them from the production. But I think some of you, I really do believe, need visual aids. And not in the sense that, oh my God, you can't imagine things. I just think that it makes a huge difference in terms of quality. Because I have my own theories, and I think my theories have been proven correct almost universally every time when it comes to this. And I'm very much vehement on the team about this, that I think this is a good idea. And so I better be proven right, chat, or I'm going to kill every last one of you. You have no idea how long it took with arguing to get these things approved, chat. Even as a director, I can approve things, but I like to make sure all my boys are on board with the idea. So you better love it, or I'm going to crush you, chat bitches. Like, no. Seriously, though, this is insane. The lighting and color work here is nuts. Cannot believe how insanely good this is. Lickenfish has definitely been pushed to his breaking point, I think, as a human being. So, yeah.
So are you saying I should whip him to do other artwork as well?
I think we have pushed this man as far as we can push him artistically at his current skill level. Like, this is pushing him to his absolute brink. This is what I want to see done to Indio next. Because I want Indio to be at this point, too. So that when we are...
Indio just posted progress, too.
You did? Indio, I'm so proud of you. Is it something I can show the Chatfishes? Probably not. You know what? That's not spoilery. I can. We'll show Chatfishes that as well. Indio's working on episode 2 while Lickenfish works on episode 1. And, like, I'm very proud of you boys. You guys are doing a fucking awesome job. Seriously. Keep up the good work. All right, we got to look at this one. This one makes me smile, mostly because I know what the scene is, but I won't say anything further on that. Chatfishies. This one. This is Lickenfish's line art for the one he's working on. What do you think, fishies? What do you think's happening in this scene? Now, Trumpus, you don't get to say anything. Squealy and Mamu both haven't read the docs, so we're safe. Because I know Squealy has access but hasn't read them, so we don't have to worry, because there's no way he knows what's happening.
Do you want me to read them, or do you want me to...
I think
You're allowed if you
that
want.
chair looks really small at her waist.
It's fine. Look at the Chatfish. Some strong lines you've got there, says Chatfish.
They were something was being explained to Celeste in some capacity, and she's walking away or something to that effect. I don't know.
I went shaboba, 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 shaboba.
Or she did something that like she wasn't supposed to do, but wasn't terrible either.
It's only, 6 million in the
And
oven.
a kid would do.
6 million in the oven. Wow.
Chatfish are like finally getting what they want. Slemon is going to go cause mischief. The Chatfish. They're molding.
The lemon likes war crimes.
That chair would be better if it was made of metal, says Metallic Chair. Dude. But that's for episode 2.
One of the first mods that will come out for Legends Terrestrial Kibs will replace all chairs with the plastic lawn chair.
That's the ideal.
Why? I would be impressed if somebody actually made everything into a plastic lawn chair in our game. As like the chairs and stuff. Because it would require a lot of work.
I will make it so.
You're gonna make it? Do you realize how much work that's gonna be, boy?
I will quit my day job to make lawn chair mods.
Lawn chair mods? Oh my god. It's a good job. Metallic Chair Supremacy. Celeste being a good being. That's the spirit. Yeah, why would you think she's doing anything mischievous? She's smiling. See, everyone's smiling here, kind of.
Why would I think she's doing anything mischievous? Well,
Look.
because I know what kids do.
No, kids don't do this.
Kids are evil.
Kids are...
No, they're not evil. They just like to poke and prod and figure out the bounds of what they can do.
Celeste did a little genocide. Rapier, you traitor, says Metallic Chair.
Look, it's only a genocide if your side loses.
Oh, it's just nice. It's nice that we reached this point. Do you have any idea how much concept art went into this stuff, chat? I know there's only 3 characters on scene, so it's obviously only 3 outfits, but still, that chair is the 4th element.
Is it perhaps a throne?
No, but I watched Indio do chair concept art for the scene, and that made me smile. It always makes me smile because yes, we do have to do it, right? Like it's decor. The decor has to be like designed because otherwise, you know, it's going to affect the scene and it's got to match the visuals. And watching like a conversation develop around a chair is just always funny to me because it makes me smile because it just sounds like so ludicrous out of context. It's like, oh my god, they're fucking in Battle Time Studios. What did they do? I don't know. They had like a conversation back and forth about a chair, and it was like a discussion because it had to be
ridiculous. That's what happens when you're concepting and building stuff.
It's like, well, what does the chair mean? What does it look like? What is it made out of? What color
like
is it?
If you're building a universe that you want people to actually be able to believe and feel like things are grounded in it, you do have to worry about tiny details like that.
Mm-hmm. So every little thing needs attention and detail. That's why anytime we're doing a new scene or a new environment, it sucks because it's like going back to ground one. But the fun part about it is when you start getting to the stage where you're like, okay, everybody's kind of on the same page and it's forming. The initial part that kind of is always agitating is like the initial, like everybody's got like sort of drastic different interpretations of things. It's like, come on, rein it in, boys, rein it in. And then once you rein it in, it's all good from there on upwards usually. Because then it's all about just fucking honing it. Chair-dio. What if the chair was made of stupid swords? That was funny.
What if it was really uncomfortable to sit on?
I thought about that for a second. It took me a second to realize you were referencing Game of Thrones. Because of the little Sword of Throne thingy. Chairs are serious items. They say everything about the poison. I need to make India draw chairs. Damn. It's true.
Yeah, you do, Metallic Chair.
That's true.
Perhaps that's what your fancy fish that you're currently funding in chat could help out with. Could be.
Potentially. Fancy Cheerio. Fishio. Oh my god. But I think that succinctly... Wait, is there anything in bigger and much discussion before we move on? I give this as an opportunity for chat to post whatever they wanted. I don't like the blurry version. But maybe that's just me, Indio. He posted the blurry version. I could get it. It's because the focal point's not on her. But I think we can do that in effects. I think special effects department Robert can handle that. If we're going to do that at all. That's just a kib theory, though.
Give more work to Robert. Bindio.
Make Robert work hard.
Who like gets a membership?
Oh, crap. Was there any articles, Chumpus?
I didn't see any unless you... I don't know if you grabbed ones before, but yeah, I'm not noticing any. Don't forget my articles.
Whose?
Zealous.
We might forget those unintentionally.
No, most of those were... Okay.
What?
I'm going to sum up his articles real quick. Valve is improving the workshop by making it more usable for web browsing and Steam Deck, as well as improving filtering.
Okay.
And Fallout 5 is confirmed to be worked on after Elder Scrolls 6.
That's so far. I mean, that is news, technically. Like, it's that's like 1 billion trillion years away from now. It's like but at the same time,
There is news from Grancha Boncho.
Okay,
but
good.
I'll step away after I post it.
Go ahead and post it. I just have to reschedule the Project Zomboid stream because I fucked up and accidentally streamed there.
Chance I won't be here for the start of that.
That's okay. We don't need you. It's like, just cries.
You will be forgotten.
Man, I knew I was gonna advocate to have a set start point, chat, because there's a spot you can start outside the big city, and it's at the top of a skyscraper, and it'd be awesome.
Awesome. And Chaffish just like plummet to the bottom, like
They spawn up there. They have to fight your way down to the ground floor.
and then
great.
somebody at the bottom starts a fire on the bottom floor, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, what keeps gravity doesn't exist in Zomboid.
And then gravity doesn't
For
exist.
structures.
It does. That means the bottom part will be destroyed and they'll be trapped on a floating building.
No, you can just drop down.
Yeah, it depends on how many floors they burn. Chumpa. That's right. You didn't think about that, did you, Chumpus?
Well, that'd be called griefing kibs, and they'd be banned.
They'd be banned? Oh my god, chat. Look at this. Look at this rules lawyering happening here, chat. Before your very little fishy
well,
eyes.
literally, my job is rules lawyering.
See what I mean?
So
The balance guy doing balancing things? What a fucking asshole.
yeah, that's right. We're better than Arrowhead. We have a balance guy.
Fuck, we actually do. Which one guy, though? It's a Chumpus. And that's for the tabletop. The video game doesn't have a balance guide. Did you know that, chat?
Yet.
True. It's a yet question. It's about getting mechanics implemented. Balance is secondary to mechanics. Actually, it's secondary. It's literally last thought, possibly.
Okay, there is also another thing from Yinless that is true.
What's that?
Support for 2010 Kindles is gonna be dropped.
Kindles?
Kindle.
Like the things the tablets?
Reading tablets,
yes.
yeah.
No, 2012 Kindle.
Oh, okay.
Kindles.
My
2012
my
before.
Kindle's from like 2010 or whatever, or 2011, so.
Well, they won't be getting any more updates.
Well, I think my 2011 one's pretty shot, boys. It's like,
Oh, and you can't buy new books on them, basically.
Well, yeah, that's not surprising. What was I gonna do? Oh, yeah, it's opening these new articles. Wait, the Steam League that's it? That's the Colossus thing?
Yeah, the other three were... There's other three from Eunice I just summed up for everybody real quick.
Okay, here's the chat.
Because two of them weren't
it's not
really
like you read
news
gifts,
articles.
motherfucker. I read the articles like almost all the time. I don't read them all the time. Okay?
I'll be back, Chatfish.
Sometimes I've kind of already cursory read through them already, so I'm just summing it up because I don't feel like going through it like 30 times. Okay. Or sometimes you don't have to read them because like it's like, all right, this happened, and then it's just the guy's opinion. All right, so here we go. Shadow of Colossus is one of the greatest games ever made, which is why it's been remastered twice already, with this PC port making it 3. From PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 5, Shadow of Colossus is a masterclass in environmental storytelling. Barely a word. Okay, yeah, we're glazing the game. I mean, I've heard it's a good game. I've never played it, but like, what about it? More Colossi stepping out of shadows. The new PC remaster is the work of Team Tribute to the Shadow of the Colossus, a lengthy name, I know, who've been actively posting their work on X to drum up hype for the new release. Is this an official release, like a buying game, or is this like a other thing? Their efforts are focusing primarily on the PlayStation 2 version of the game, which is rarely accessible nowadays. Outside of the physical copies, for the longest time, the HD remaster for the PlayStation 3 was the superior version, and then even that was overshadowed by the PlayStation 4 remake. I heard that they both have different values, but maybe that's just me. The team aims to bring it back, though, and better than how originally left it. So this is like a legit thing? Wish I could see. Shadow of the Colossus 2, some of the features being added to the game include a day and night cycle, weather, new skins. Does that actually add any mechanics, or is that just like knick-knack? And more. The biggest additions, though, are brand new Colossi to fight. Each Shadow of the Colossus has 16 in total, but the original version of the PlayStation 2 featured many more. There was even a player-led campaign back in the day that speculated some of these Colossi were still in the game as hidden bosses. Using concept art and other information from the game's development, the team aims to bring these beasts back into the fold like a spider Colossus the player would have fought around halfway through the game. So basically restoring content that was cut originally. This might be controversial, though, chat, because This can break the flow of a game, depending, right? It depends. It's sort of like when they brought the cut content back for Near Gestalt, because that actually broke, or in Near Replicant, because when they brought the little girl and the shipwreck thing, it spoils the entire story and actually makes the story worse. But go ahead, Champa, or Skilly.
That won't matter for Shadow of the Colossus Gibbs.
Does it? Okay.
No, so Shadow of the Colossus is a boss rush game.
Oh, it's just about
you're essentially
bosses.
going from one boss to another, and you're slowly uncovering like bits and pieces of dialogue from the god that's essentially directing you around.
Gotcha.
What they're essentially doing is they're just adding in boss fights that were just cut from the game or cut from development.
As long as it doesn't like break the continuity of the story, it should be fine then. Fan project, they're doing based on the PS2 version because the PS4 is kind of shit. That's fair. I mean, I don't really know much about this, but we do have to play this, so we might actually use this version then. Iconic PlayStation 2 Trilogy is free on PC right now. What? Go ahead.
The remaster done by Bluepoint, they made a lot of like weird changes that don't really add to the game, or usually just take away from it, and they've done that with many of the remakes they've done.
Makes sense. Graveyard Keeper is free. Oh yeah, might as well mention that. Chatfish, free video game. What? I'm gonna start screaming. You know.
Chatfish love video game. Chatfish can't understand the world without video game. Wow.
So open up the sequel as well, I suppose. We'll take a look at the sequel later, because let's just look at the original. So Graveyard Keeper is a free game on Steam, as it is free now. It does have DLC, mind you, but the DLC is on a steep ass sale. Fuck, I might try this. I might as well. It doesn't hurt.
Cute game.
Now registered your account. I now own it, chat, because I pressed a button. It's got nice low res art. It's okay, Stone Age. It doesn't look like it's gonna like blow me away, but it's more like a management game, right? With like a slow, sort of steady progression from what I'm seeing here.
Well, it's an automation game, like a not as autistic as Wormworld. Not Wormworld. Fucking word. What's the game called? Factorio. But you essentially do a lot of the monotonous work initially, and then you swap to using other things to do your work for you.
Damn. They burned a dude.
Good.
You craft your own zombie workers? What the fuck?
Yeah. Called Graveyard Keeper, kids.
I assume you don't want the Inquisitor dude to find out about that.
That you're using undead
Necromancy?
slavery? No.
Each new corpse will cost you 5 carrots. What the fuck? What a sick donkey. Fishing minigame! Oh God, it's the same awful fishing minigame from Stardew Valley.
What do you think the game's based off of, Gibbs?
Obligatory dungeon crawling. Nice. I will say that the music composition being like a 15 to 20 second loop is terrible. You might want to like had to pay your composer actual money to compose music for an actual trailer. Come on, man. Come on, man. That felt like the music there was honestly the most grating thing about that. But honestly, that's a minor complaint. Now they're making a sequel, which is new.
Trailer.
Called Graveyard Keeper 2. The most inaccurate medieval cemetery sim is back. Restore the town, manage the graveyard, automate production, lead your undead army into battle, and turn the zombie problem into a thriving business. Graveyard Keeper 2 is the grotesque sequel that's deeper than 6 feet and more unhinged than ever. Oh, that was pretty funny.
Deeper than 6 feet. Wow.
Wake up, Keeper. Don't make me bite you.
They have voice acting now? Ugh.
I may be a skull, but I bet we'll become best friends.
Yeah, they have voice acting now. Well, the sprite work looks actually a little better here, actually.
There's more depth to it.
What are you looking at? Grab him. Sard.
Okay. It's a little zombie Factorio.
I was just telling you.
Looks like a cute little game. Might actually be worth giving a shot, honestly. Let's slap it on the old wish list, yet. Wubba-ja-bubba-ja. Hubba-ja-bubba-ja.
Boba.
It was better trailer music, at least. I know that's such a random critique, but still.
Well, it's presentation. That's what you're actually critiquing.
Presentation is important, because I do think people judge books by the cover, which is why I'm no exception to this.
Everyone does.
The Chatfish think that the book is a potato.
The book looks like potato. Book is potato. Eats book.
All right, chat. It's time for us to raid into the next stream, which will be doing Project Zomboid. And you're welcome to join. Project Zomboid is a zombie survival game in which all chatfishes will be left to die. We'll see you over there in about a few minutes, chat. Thanks for your generous donations and getting halfway to the daily goal. We'll see you in a little bit there, fishies. See you shortly. Goodbye.